Chilling in the chat, controllers in our hands. Gamers only drilling, spreading across the lands. Pixels and frames, it's a digital parade. Stay up all night till we hit that arcade. Joystick warriors, avatars come alive. Twitch streams flare, 5 stars is what we strive. In the virtual world, we're the ones who reign. Button mashing legends, no cap, pure game. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming zone, it's the place we all connect. LAN parties hype, network lights ablaze. Level up fast, enemies we phase. Esports dreams, life split a game. DOP a household name, stay in the frame. Bit by bit, code turns fire hot. Speed runs, boss fights, never gotta stop. Chats on fire, mean games fierce. Community so lit, it pierces the atmosphere. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming zone, it's the place we all connect. By bit, code turns fire hot. Speed runs, boss fights, never gonna stop. Chats on fire, mean games fierce. Community so lit, it pierces the atmosphere. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming zone, it's the place we all connect. Chilling in the chat, controllers in our hands. Gamers only drilling, spreading across the lands. Pixels and frames, it's a digital parade. Stay up all night till we hit that arcade. Joystick warriors, avatars come alive. Twitch streams flare, 5 stars is what we strive. In the virtual world, we're the ones who reign. Button mashing legends, no cap, pure game. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming zone, it's the place we all connect. LAN parties hype, network lights ablaze. Level up fast, enemies we phase. Esports dreams, life split a game. DOP a household name, stay in the frame. Bit by bit, code turns fire hot. Speed runs, boss fights, never gotta stop. Chats on fire, mean games fierce. Community so lit, it pierces the atmosphere. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming zone, it's the place we all connect. By bit, code turns fire hot. Speed runs, boss fights, never gonna stop. Chats on fire, mean games fierce. Community so lit, it pierces the atmosphere. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming zone, it's the place we all connect. Chilling in the chat, controllers in our hands. Gamers only drilling, spreading across the lands. Pixels and frames, it's a digital parade. Stay up all night till we hit that arcade. Joystick warriors, avatars come alive. Twitch streams flare, 5 stars is what we strive. In the virtual world, we're the ones who reign. Button mashing legends, no cap, pure gain. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming Zone, it's the place we all connect. LAN parties hype, network lights ablaze, level up fast. Enemies we phase, esports dreams, life split a game, DOP a household name. Stay in the frame. Bit by bit, code turns fire hot. Speed runs, boss fights, never gotta stop. Chats on fire, meme games fierce, community so lit, it pierces the atmosphere. OP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming Zone, it's the place we all connect. By bit, code turns fire hot. Speed runs, boss fights, never gonna stop. Chats on fire, meme games fierce, community so lit, it pierces the atmosphere. VOOP, where the gamers unite. Screens glow bright in our party every night. From the news to the pros, we show respect. Gaming Zone, it's the place we all connect.
We can change it from the Bungalow Brothers to the Bungalow Man or something.
Okay, man. Welcome in, everybody, to the Thursday stream. I got Riley here with me, and it's time for Ace Attorney. Getting Wright Trilogy tonight. Once again, we are close to finishing the first game. Be interested to see if we make it tonight. This case is very complicated and very difficult. So it could take us the full 4 hours to finish it. Who knows? So we could either be starting the second game tonight. We could be still stuck on the first game at the end of the stream. Who knows? But stick around, get comfortable, and prepare thyself for that. Because usually the cases kind of present you with hints as to who the culprit is, but this one has given us like nothing to work with. So I don't have many theories. I have a couple of theories, but I'm not sharing them because I look like an idiot if I'm wrong. Don't wanna admit stupidity just yet. It's already obvious enough with everything else that I do. Ben is not here yet. They may be a little late, so everyone in the chat, be patient for that. If you're watching the stream as a video, then I appreciate you clicking on it. Check out my sponsor, Juice Energy. Links in the description below. Check out our Discord community. You can click on that and join us, and you'll be notified when streams are coming, and then you'll be able to make it one of these if you want to. Also, all the streams are scheduled on the channel anyway, so you between the Discord and checking the channel, you'll know when streams are coming up. Riley here was just discussing a little project he's got coming with me. I'm not going to reveal any details about it, but this man is not only working on creating a game, but also working on creating a sequel to, like, basically a movie he made a few years ago. So he was telling me some behind-the-scenes stuff about that, but I can't say anything. But if you guys are interested in somebody's, like, growing portfolio, then give him a follow on whatever sort of socials he wants to drop. I can put him in the chat for him. Is there anything that people could follow your works on, Riley? I mean, you've got a YouTube channel, but that's mainly like, you know, memes and stuff. Is there a place where people can get more information about your other projects? Do you, I mean, I don't use it because it's kind of evil, but do you have like a Twitter handle or something?
Not quite yet. I was planning on, especially for the game, I was planning on maybe making like an Instagram or something, but I haven't quite made that yet. I want to wait until I'm a little further in production. And as for my movie, at the current moment in time, I'm keeping that just amongst close friends. I'll probably release it within. I don't know. I have to get everyone who's involved with it. I got to get their blessing and whatnot. So I want to be very respectful towards them when it comes to that. But very soon there will be an Instagram for the game.
Very cool. So keep an eye on that, guys. The game is really exciting. I'm not going to obviously share any information about it, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The art is great, and we'll probably end up playing it on stream when it comes out. So if you guys want a sneak peek at it, then keep an eye on this space, because this is probably one of the number one places to see it. And I would recommend that if you come by the first stream of that game and you like it, don't keep watching. Legit, go and play it yourself, because the more people that play the game, more word gets out there, because it's kind of a big deal making a game yourself, and it's all non-for-profit, and Riley's working really hard on it and got a lot of people very dedicated to it. So when it comes out, if you will please play it, that'd be awesome. We'll have information available to it. Like, the streams will probably have like links and information to it, so you can easily find and access it whenever Riley has set up. But we will be streaming it. He has asked me to do that, and of course I happily will. Playing a friend's game is a huge honor. But there'll be ways for you guys to access it when it comes out, and it should be pretty exciting. A game debut by a friend is not something that happens every day, so keep an eye on this space. If you're watching this video, like and subscribe and hang around and join the Discord community and stay updated on cool stuff like that, because there's a lot of talented people in that community that do a lot of incredible things, from amazing writing, reviews, game creation. There's a lot of talent out there, and if you want to mix those people or experience some of that stuff, then come on in and make yourself comfortable. We don't script anything. We don't script.
Yeah, I'm ready to get in and objection to I don't know.
And it's true, as Intright says, I don't script anything because I'm bad at scripts. There was one time where I wrote a script for a video. This was years ago, when I was bringing back my review show, and I did a review on a really fun little game called Maneater, which is on Xbox Game Pass on PC if you want to try it. You basically play as a shark and you eat things, and it's really fun. So I wanted to do a review on that. So that was the first time that I wrote an actual honest-to-God script, and I found it really hard. It felt really restrictive. Ironic, right? I wrote out everything I wanted to say, and I felt restricted by the way I wrote things. So about halfway through, I went off script and just went and said what I wanted to and what I felt, which is basically, again, what the script was, but just for some reason, even though it was my words that I wrote myself, reading from a script was hard for me for some reason. I can't really explain it. It frustrated me, because every single time I got to a section or a sentence, I felt like there was more to add to it. You know, like how you proofread things, and sometimes you proofread things a million times. Even though I proofread it like 4 times or something, I found myself being like, oh, I could add this here, or this could be said or written better. Like, I still had problems with it, so I was like, no, not doing that again. So I'm never scripting anything ever again unless I absolutely have to, because it just felt weird. I didn't like it. So also, I know most people, when it comes to big reviews and things like that, they do write a script because it makes it easier to consolidate your thoughts, and it didn't work for me. How about you, Riley? How are you with scripts? Are you good at writing a script and sticking to it? Is that something that works more for you?
So something that I'm doing for my movie that I'm making, or the sequel to my movie, is it's mostly improv, especially when we get out into the scenes. But this time around, that was what the first movie was just mainly improv. We got out there, I was like, okay, this would be funny. This time around, I didn't make a formal script, but I made like a list of events of something that I want to happen, and when I start thinking about it in that moment, the ideas will start flowing in, and it feels more natural.
Okay. That works.
I just make a list of events, really.
Okay, so it's not so much a set word-for-word script, it's more like a guideline, bullet points almost?
Pretty much, yeah. Alright, the core, okay. I forget what happened last stream. It's been like a week since then.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember as well, to be honest. I'm trying to remember too. It'll come back to me. Oh yes.
Oh wait, are we reading already? Okay. Officer in The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room. Marshall. Oh, now I remember.
Yeah, it's
Witness,
come back to me
please
now.
state your name and occupation.
Because Marshall,
Yeah,
we found his fingerprints in the evidence room, even though he was guarding it. But he also claimed that when the incident happened, he wasn't there. So even though he was supposed to be guarding the entrance, he said that he wasn't there. He said he was off doing something else. But we found his fingerprints there, so that's how he's getting involved now, and that's what our trump card is.
Ah, okay.
I'll try to
Witness,
remember.
please state your name and occupation.
I'll try to remember how I was reading for this guy. Me, partner? Oh, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization.
I might be delayed. Hold on, let me... Like, more than usual. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it.
Oh, I know. You're a patrolman. I'm surprised they let him drink on the stand. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. Edgeworth's like, I really don't care about this right now.
Edgeworth can never get his people to say their name. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor.
Howling wind? I've
He can
never heard
get
Edgeworth.
his witness.
Howling wind? I've never heard Edgeworth described that way before. I don't think it was describing Edgeworth, because Edgeworth didn't flinch. Poor Edgy.
Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You were in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime, on the day that the crime took place. Is this correct? See, I've made it to where, like, he's not a full-blown Chills, but it's like a variant of Chills. Like, I could make him sound more like Chills, but I just don't.
According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado's soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper could sum it up. Maybe it's best we get on with this quickly. Please share with us your testimony of the day of the crime. In plain old English. Alright. My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyway. If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Jesus, this guy's cringe. I can't say I particularly care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Oh, brother, you're not helping yourself at all. Wait a minute. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. Yeah, well, what about the fingerprint-activated locks on the evidence lockers? Fingerprint-activated locks? What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very helpful. There's also no way he doesn't know about those. He was a detective himself.
Maybe they had been installed after he was a detective.
Must be. But he would still know about it, you would think. It's plain dumb.
He's not good with machines or following orders.
Everyone's got their weaknesses, now don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright, he's all yours. Not even saying you may cross-examine, it's just like, he's yours, get him! Judge had enough of this, because normally he goes, okay, Mr. Wright, you may now cross-examine the witness, but this time he's just like, fucking get him! I'm sick of it! I'm sick of his attitude! Fucking get him! My job was to keep a wary eye on that bone orchard. Hold it! How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room's so still, even time dies in there. I was the caretaker who interred the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing aren't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape.
If nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours.
Each time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. This guy has a flair for the dramatic, but it isn't going to do him any good. So in actuality, you don't physically enter the evidence room? They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado I know lets rules get in his way. You're a freaking patrolman! No desperados I know joined the police force. So, Officer Marshall, on the day of the crime, just between you and me, I didn't set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say I do. I haven't been in that crypt in weeks. How does this guy avoid being fired? Besides...
So it's kind of cool that the judge is helping, like, kind of question him.
Yeah, because the judge is like, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this guy. Besides, the room is protected by 2 security systems anyway. You used to be a detective, so you've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course, back in the day, my locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet, you didn't know about the fingerprint locking mechanism? Sorry, partner, I ain't good with machines. I couldn't even tell you how a bike works. That's quite, incredible.
The sensors on the lockers cannot be seen.
It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence.
Now that he mentions it, Detective Gumshoe said something like that too. At any rate, it doesn't seem that this is relevant to the crime. Can you tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at the street side saloon at the time it went down. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that parlor's vongole sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this has at least taught you a lesson. That's strange. This is usually where Edgeworth says, Did you not want to raise this year? I'm just an innocent traveling man, so if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall? That's right, partner. Or as you'd call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is waiting to carry me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. Apparently your superiors don't. Okay, I have a trump card up my sleeve, so I best keep my cool. Before I use it though, I better up the ante. Alright, so... Does that mean we don't want to use the trump card yet? I was gonna say, I'm just gonna throw it in his face, legitimately.
Why do they call it that?
What do they call what?
Why do they call it a trump card?
What, when you have like another word for an ace up your sleeve?
Yeah, why do they call it a trump card?
Because it trumps everything else before it.
Yeah, but what is the meaning of the word trump?
Well, I don't know. I'm not Google or the Oxford Dictionary. You're asking the wrong man.
I'm gonna look it up, actually. Alright, let's see.
I'm tempted to just throw the fingerprint at him right now. When he's claiming I got no ammo. It's like, nah.
I would say just do it.
I'm just throwing it at his face.
Is because in card games, a trump refers to a suit or card that is designated as having higher value than any other card in that particular hand,
Yeah.
essentially giving the holder a winning advantage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime. And yet you dragged me down here. Explain yourself, partner. It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Huh, listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, pay my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there. I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints were at the crime scene? The blood was wiped away, however. A luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall? It seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders. What? Intuit's losing patience.
I take it you have an explanation then, Officer Marshall?
About the blood-stained fingerprints? Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime. Oh, what is he gonna say about this? What the fudge?
I cut my finger and I left it in the room.
Yeah, a month ago. It's a month old, sure. Like I said.
I don't think it's actually a month old.
No, he claimed, but he said he hasn't been in there for a month, is what he says. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the blood-stained handprint. The murderer touched the locker where my fingerprint was by chance. The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See, I had nothing to do with it. The witness explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt. Life wouldn't be fun without any doubt, partner. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. This guy's hiding something, I can feel it. Now's my chance to prove it. Alright, I'm gonna throw something at this bad boy now.
Objection.
That's because you, how did you put it, pay your respects once a month? Yeah, that's right. That and one more thing. That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean? I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now, though, is a heap of broken dreams. I see. No, that can't be right. No. That can't be right. Because the lockers are assigned to detectives. He got fired, like, what, 2 years ago? And they have told us that stuff gets moved out of there, like, in less than a year, I'm pretty sure. Like, stuff gets moved out of there eventually. So, if he had anything in there, it would have been moved out well before 2 years was up, because 2 years ago was when he got fired. for being a detective.
I mean, that's fair. I know this is like a key contradiction in the game, but if this were real life, I would be inclined to believe that since he's like still guarding the evidence room, they'd let him keep his locker or something.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be anything in it. He says that he is implying there's still stuff in it, but there shouldn't be. And he wouldn't know. It'd be strange if my prints weren't all over that locker. Apparently his fingerprint data was never removed from that locker's programming. He must have been using the fingerprint lock all this time without ever knowing it. Still don't like it. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. Right, coincidence, sure. So then, what about the bloody handprint? Wasn't mine, it's no mystery. Please explain. My locker is covered with my fingerprints. It just so happened. The murderer touched the locker my fingerprint was by chance. I don't know about that. I don't know. The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1. On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? Bloodstains and the fingerprint are completely unrelated. I don't believe you. Unrelated? They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's got to do a breakfast while the other's a type of murder. He's right, although seemingly unlike, they're totally different. I don't see what homonyms have to do with this. Or didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? How do you know that? I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
I don't know. There was a bloodstain at the scene, thought to be left by the murderer.
That's
I don't know,
right.
it seems kind of fishy.
It was found in Detective Gumshoe's locker.
If you ask me, this is just a little bit fishy.
However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
Oh yeah, I think we tried that too. So that would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint. That's the only logical conclusion. Are you starting to get the picture, partner? The picture. This seal of blood. In the desert, it's just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. Security tape. So long as my trail isn't in there, you can't say otherwise. This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor. Now then, continue your testimony, Officer Marshall. Too bad it wasn't me that... You're really just gonna instigate that on me like that? What do you mean by that? You want to tie me to this crime, isn't that right, partner? If so, that video is the only direct evidence you have. But that video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. Blind spots? Places you can't see. How does a judge know what that means? The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. If someone was familiar with the camera's position, they could leave the room without being caught on tape. Oh, Edgeworth's talking now. He's objecting finally.
Oh, let's see. Hold on, I guess. Objection!
We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present, please do now. I don't know if I actually have that. I do not know if that's actually a thing I can do. Frick it, we're gonna try.
Usually when they give you these options, just show. I usually just pick, yeah, I have it, even that I don't know that. I don't know.
Allow me to point out your mistake, Officer Marshall.
Why is my thing lagging?
Edgeworth's like, oh, careful.
I'm gonna have to reload the video. It keeps like loading every 2 seconds. So if I miss a line, that's why.
if you've got it on if you've got it on high speed, then it will do that because it keeps catching up.
Oh, tread carefully, Mr. Wright, or you might wind up being the one making the mistake.
Now then, let's have a little
Is
look
that
at the
what we're-
video. Show us this incriminating evidence of the witness, Officer Jake Marshall. I don't know. I hate that I have to watch this video again.
So what are we pointing to it being him in here? Wait a minute, I just saw it.
You did?
Yeah, go back. It's like someone edited the video.
It is?
Yeah, rewind it and you'll see like a little cut in the footage when that guy walks in. Like as soon as you see that guy walk past, you'll see a little cut in the footage.
You sure?
Alright. And then let it play, and then you let him walk past. And... Okay, I swear I saw it. Whatever then, I guess not. What?
No, I'm really unsure right now.
Okay.
I'm not sure what evidence I'm supposed to find in this, eh? I don't know.
Listen, I'm just as confused as you are.
Yeah. I mean, because there must be something here for them to give us this option, right?
Yeah.
But what, though?
Well, let's think of what we haven't presented yet, and that will narrow down our options. Because usually you only need to present something like once. Have we presented the blue badger yet?
But this is not. But this is not us presenting an item we have. This is presenting a moment in the video. So that's a bit harder.
Oh, okay.
Bit harder to narrow down a moment in the video that we haven't presented, because that could be anything.
You know, that's fair. I thought we were doing items as well.
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna Hail Mary here.
Please allow me to apologize for my colleague you're on. Oh my gosh.
Yes, well, there certainly isn't a first. Of course, I'm not one to gun down unarmed boys. There's gotta be something more to it.
Okay, this is actually like hurting my brain because it's
Yeah.
early. I wonder what happens if you pick you don't have any evidence.
I don't know.
Maybe they're just like, okay, well then we're done here. Guilty.
Well, no, he's not guilty.
Hmm.
Oh!
Wait, what?
Huh! Do you see what I see?
Ah, that wasn't there before.
Let me rewind this. I just need to make sure. Because what I'm doing is I'm just trying to see... Because his locker was touched, I thought, okay, I'm just going to look at his locker every time it swings around to him. Just to see if anything different is there. Yeah, look, there's nothing there.
Makes so much sense.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there on that far left locker.
Oh, okay, so he snuck in. I see.
Okay. That pans over here.
While the camera was looking at that going
Yep.
on. Okay.
Yep. That pans back over
we know
here.
We know it wasn't Marshall that was in the Detective Goodman disguise, or was that actually Goodman?
That might have been Marshall, we don't know. All we know is that after the quote-unquote Goodman supposedly left, this is here. What is this? What is this?
A something hanging out.
That's something. What is this?
Present it.
What is this? Bring your attention back to the security camera. It's a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall. The days are short in Texas, and so are our tempers. Could you sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less? Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video. Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner. The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. Yeah, this is sus to me. I can't believe I just noticed this. That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses, I believe. Oh no, wait, that's... That locker with the white cloth sticking out, that was the witnesses, I believe. Now then, let's rewind the video a bit. I think they can rewind it a bit faster, wouldn't you?
Probably, yeah.
Yep. Oh, the white cloth, it's gone! What's the meaning of this, Officer Marshall? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there. Then it suddenly appeared. It's only one explanation. That's the cloth that was used to wipe the blood, I reckon. Officer Marshall, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. That means there might be some sort of... You know what? There might be some sort of evidence in his locker now. Hold your horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was opened? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. What? The murderer needed to hide something, so he opened a locker and stuck it in. Sure, because anybody can open lockers. Is this guy dumb, or does he think we're dumb? It's not my fault he happened to choose mine. Bro,
it can only be open with your fingerprints,
yeah,
you dummy.
We've already been over this. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man? This guy is just plain dumb. He really doesn't know. I hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker. Oh yeah, I call your bluff. You say I opened that locker. Now prove it. What? I have to prove it now?
He looks like he's locked in. Look at
Wait, how do I prove that he did it then?
There is actually so much evidence. You have 3 things of evidence.
Yeah. A fingerprint sensor. We talked about this earlier today. We literally talked about this like 5 minutes ago. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to. Well, what kind of crazy talk is this? We literally told you about it earlier and you're like, oh, I didn't know about that. I'm not good with machines. Well, Detective Gumshoe did mention something about this. Oh, look, Gumshoe's on screen for you. Get to bust out your Gumshoe.
Wait, how do I sound like in Gumshoe's voice again?
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious.
I don't know, I forget.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Peter, in any case, the locks aren't that obvious.
I always have to say, hey Peter, to get me in the voice.
Hey, Peter, there aren't even some people on the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks.
So, Sheriff, what do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Sorry.
I only got one word for you, partner. No.
What is he biting?
Looks like jerky. I reckon it was jerky.
Maybe.
No!
Order! 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 Witness, explain yourself! If this is a joke, it's the worst I've ever heard. I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Now then, please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime. This poor dude was probably framed. Oh, please answer the question. What the f- I've never seen the judge say that. What the hell does that mean? What is he now, a bullfighter? Oh, Ole. Ole. That's alright, Officer Marshall. I believe we can figure the rest out from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans. Oh, the floor plans. I forgot about these. There is no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall.
Either he snuck in afterwards, or he was Detective Goodman.
He was the one in the white coat. If that's so, then where was the witness? Because Goodman was killed in that other parking lot half an hour away. So the whole mystery has been, how could it be in 2 places at once? He wasn't. So we'd already ascertained that that person in the evidence room probably wasn't Goodman. So it probably was Marshall, because there's evidence of Marshall being there. If that's so, then where was the witness? Yes, Mr. Edgy, we do.
How did you know?
It's just a hunch.
It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. I'm sorry.
That's right, the only possible conclusion. Well then, let's hear it. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime? Wait. What's the V in the K stand for? Oh. Wait, what are the...
Victim and killer.
Oh, it must be... Officer Marshall was standing right here. Yeah, but that's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman. Oh, now Edgeworth's objecting. He doesn't like this. Oh, Edgeworth, you're not thinking about this hard enough, buddy. You're not thinking about it hard enough.
Objection! That's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. No, we just, like, cross-examined him, like, a while ago. He said he didn't look at his face.
Yeah, and he didn't speak. He didn't see his face. Sorry, Edgeworth.
Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
May I point out, though, that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted. When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir. Yes, and how did Detective Goodman respond? He suddenly pulled a knife on me! Going for like a Tristan Taylor from Hugo Bridge, you know? Oh no, Yugi!
Oh. Hey, I need to run to the restroom real quick.
You got it. Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on his ID card. Oh, I get it. If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall? You've got quite an imagination, partner. We got a term for that. It's called circumstantial evidence. Circumstantial evidence? You're still denying it. You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you have hard evidence proving I dressed up as the victim. It's safe here. Yes, it forces me to make a decision. I can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining on this bit again. Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Officer Marshall dressed up as the victim? Fudge. Fudge. What evidence have I got that proves that? Well, who am I kidding? I don't have anything like that. I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems like you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat. This can't be happening. It's obvious he's the one. What can I do? I'm gonna do Edgeworth while he's away, chat. It looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The basics? For me, that would be what Mia used to tell me. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think this locker was open in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might discover later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime. Then, after the crime was committed, he opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. So, just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to all our unanswered questions. I don't have any evidence, so this video is my only shot. Very well, let's take yet another look at the security tape. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker to put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness had to open his locker. Oh. Okay. Alright. Sure. Wait, he would need the cloth to get rid of the blood. I reckon... Okay. Had the blood in the jacket, he'd want to get the cloth... He would have used the cloth to get the blood off the jacket, wouldn't he? feel like that might be it, chap. It's just a hunch. It's a hunch. But I remember this from last week. That blood appeared on him after he attacked Meekins. So what's the bet that he needed the cloth for this? We're gonna take a gamble here. We're gonna take a gamble on this one. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know to what end yet. Yet. However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked. And the white coat you're wearing was soiled with blood. A bloody white coat? You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker. The coat's in his locker. Not bad, partner. Wait, what? Ain't no way. Nah, ain't no way. Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the truth? Looks like I underestimated y'all. I hope you're happy now, Mr. Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you were only half as persistent then as you are today, we all wouldn't have to be here now would we? Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did. All of it. Alright. It seems the time has come. Oh, what? Okay. Whoa. That was, chat, that was a gamble. That was me going, hey, maybe the cloth was needed to get the blood off, right? I hadn't even thought about what he put in there. I hadn't even thought what he put in the locker. I was focusing on what the cloth was used for. So I was off base, but I was still right. Okay, right? Apparently he's confessing now, chat. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. I managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. So the supposed victim was really you? But there's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be? Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor. It was way too much blood for such a small donation. I had to do it that day. I couldn't stand by and let it die. Hold it. When you say it, you mean... Do you even have to ask, partner? The SL9 incident. 2 years had passed since that case was closed. It was going to completely end with the transferal that day. Not if I had anything to do with it. That incident's not over. But what did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room? When a case is closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one more time. No matter what the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner. That case is mine. But Officer Marshall wasn't in charge of that investigation. Why does he care so much about it? That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. Why did you disguise yourself as Detective Goodman? If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transferal, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me anywhere. So you did it to fool the security camera. And the detective's ID card? I stole that the morning of the incident. So that really was why Goodman started filling out that lost item report. I returned his ID card. I left it on the floor in the prosecutor's office parking lot. The ID card I found was left there by Officer Marshall. So essentially, you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight. What do you mean, partner? I mean the fingerprint activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But you could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. That means Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out. You pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off? Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time. Officer Meekins certainly is a one-in-a-million type of person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder demanding to be shown his ID? I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. When did Edgeworth get so much influence? Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. I'm sorry it had to turn out that way, with me knocking him out and everything. By the way, what happened to your knife? Oh, you mean this one? God, I don't even know what to say. So you knocked Officer Meekins out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on the camera. So you did your research beforehand. Those who get into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. I didn't think it would make a difference, though. The security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
Did I miss?
So we figured it out on a hunch, and he confessed that it was him disguised as Goodman, but he was getting the evidence for Goodman's locker because the case was about to, be closed except for the person in charge of the SL9 case, and it was important to him, so he wanted to have one last look at the evidence before it was taken away for good. And Meekins caught him by surprise, and his only intention was to knock Meekins out, but Meekins hurt himself on the knife, by accident. So he was literally just in there, pretending to be someone else so he could look at the evidence. That's it. He wasn't up to anything bad, though he did try to steal evidence and steal the ID card, which he then planted in the car park afterwards.
Oh. Wow, what an elaborate scheme.
Yep. He just wanted to get the evidence. Because that case was going to be closed, and it's important to him because, it's the reason why he was fired. However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins. If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. I opened my locker and stashed it in there. So he stashed the coat in there, because the coat had blood on it.
Ah.
The cloth sticking out is the coat. What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? What else? He was sleeping like a baby. So what you're saying is, on that day, there wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15. No, there wasn't. I mean, that was obvious, to be honest. But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place. What are you, blind? The victim was shown on that tape as me, and I'm not dead yet, partner.
Yet.
Hold it.
Edgeworth line coming up for you. I took over for you while you were gone. I butchered it.
It's fine. So you stole the evidence from the locker.
Actually,
Give
no,
it
I
back
didn't.
right now.
Actually, no, I didn't.
I just moved it to my locker. I didn't steal it.
Wait a minute. Do I have a line here?
Yes.
Or am I, deadly behind?
No, you do. You're not behind.
You know what?
Why not?
When I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone. What? Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence? Oh, that part I didn't know.
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Oh, why is that? Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Someone else stole the evidence?
Ooh.
Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense.
They've got him. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. He knows the law.
Yeah. He's not gonna get let off.
This will have serious consequences. It can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Not that salary cuts are ever a valid solution.
Yeah.
Like I said, this isn't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with. The witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more. I can't just forget the SL9 incident. You know why? Sort of. But that case was sold 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason the evidence was stored in the evidence room.
Joe Drake was convicted for his crimes.
Who is Joe Drake again?
The person who was guilty of SL9 2 years ago.
Oh. What if he wasn't?
No
One
idea.
thing I can say for sure is he deserved his sentence.
Oh, okay. Well, Edgeworth just answered my question.
I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it? I don't intend to complain about how it turned out, but there's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about. What happened? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. Why is he so concerned with that incident? Maybe I should present him with what I think his real reason is. I had a feeling it would wind up here sooner or later. Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. I'd better take another look at the files.
It's almost like there's an imposter among us.
No, but like that case was when he and that other woman got fired for being detectives.
Uh-huh.
The whole
Toyota. You know, Toyota is building or has built a Maridon bike.
Yeah, I saw something about that yesterday, actually.
No, well, and then Honda created a Caridon bike.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
It's actually brilliant.
really.
Oh, Miles Edgeworth is back. Welcome in, Miles.
Objection!
I still remember that other stream we had where it was like we had so many characters in the chat.
Oh,
You gained like 9 subscribers from that, right? Something like that.
It was crazy.
5, 9. It was the best stream we've ever had. I wish it had happened again. Victims.
It's to do with this. It's to do with this. Officer
Oh,
Marshall.
Edgeworth. So Edgeworth was in this.
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Sounds like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner. I have the SL9 incident file here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Ooh.
Yep.
Neil Marshall.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago, he received the same lousy prosecutor award you got. What? A prosecutor? He must be talking about the King of Prosecutors award. Not too bad, Miles. Not too bad. How about you? How's your week been?
I remember Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
Yeah. Like Edgeworth just briefly forgot.
He handled the SL9 case before I did.
Glad to hear you going good. That's right. He was killed, and the case fell into your hands. But what's his relation to you? Obviously his dad. Oh. No, he's not old enough for that. He was my brother.
Brother, maybe?
He was investigating the murders with Damon Gant, the then deputy chief of police. Yeah, see, he's the other person in this image with the hat. The group of detectives I was part of worked under them. We were desperate to prosecute the killer.
Man, okay.
Joe Dark. My brother fought Dark and was killed. That was the first time Dark left behind any evidence. That was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated. The case was finally closed. At least according to the public records. What do you mean? My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Dark. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight. Really?
That's it. That's your reason for your insane action.
And that's it? That's your reason for your insane actions?
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me. Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime. Well, who else would have killed his brother then?
Hey, we're at 12 likes.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Yes! That's
I just
awesome.
reloaded the stream.
That's awesome. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate you doing that. How many people we got lurking right now? We got 6 ears. That's awesome.
6 lurkers.
Yeah. But 12 people have come by altogether today, and that's awesome. That's absolutely goated. Cheers, guys. I really appreciate that. Hard to articulate in words exactly how much I appreciate the support, but...
That was the last day of the SL9 case could be reopened.
Not satisfied with its resolution. No, sorry, it's still you. Freak brain.
Not satisfied with this resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence.
Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Well, at least we know what happened in this instance now, huh?
Yeah.
Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up.
I bet they're not gonna let us go, like, do some more investigations, are they?
I don't know.
This is it. This is the big one.
Oh, Ben finally made it.
I did, yes.
Very quiet, too.
Things that happen. Oh,
Am I? I don't know
exactly
what
the
else.
same as murder at the prosecutor's office.
I'm so lost with this case, like, so much stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Like, is Lana Skye truly guilty?
I don't think so. She had no reason to do it.
This fake murder was going on at the police department. Anyway, go ahead.
Chance, it's got to be more than just that. So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, means the murder in the prosecutor's office's parking lot was the real one.
Which in turn means the only person could have committed the crime.
Oh, so narrow-minded, Edgeworth. How you doing there, Ben?
Doing alright. Just reading and catching up with you guys.
Based.
Ben, have you dropped a like on the stream?
Yes, I already have. Oh,
But wait, a verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial.
Which is why we examined the incident at the police department today.
But
No butts, no cuts, no coconuts.
The only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday.
And that reason is because
There were no coconuts. There yet remained a mystery of this.
there are no coconuts because there are no coconuts because they're all in my goon cave.
I took the coconuts.
My name is Miles Edwards, and I took all of the coconuts.
It seems
I
to
need all
me.
the milk of the coconuts to help with my goon cave to help crystallize it. It makes it so silky and nice.
It seems to
Like
me.
a silk cocoon.
This boy's got the drawer on you, partner.
Because I'm Breaking Bad.
Police department have been resolved, no doubt about it.
I have all the coconuts. They are mine. I kept them all in my cave.
He like turns into a little like goblin, like
He's gone gremlin
what's
mode.
it called? He turns into Golem. Miles
Oh
Golem.
no.
Coconuts.
Personal murder took place in the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye.
Well, he's a big word for you to wrap your tongue around.
The coconuts. Try to stir the coconuts off.
And the testimony of Miss Angel Star is completely incontestable.
Oh, I heard you. I felt you stop at that one and think about it. You're like,
Yeah, whatever.
Listen, I cannot say more than a 3-syllable word. It hurts my brain.
Skippity toilet.
no, you will not say that. No. No, that's going too
Oh my
far.
gosh. Wait, Phantom, you
Yeah,
don't like
same
that
thing.
show?
No!
I mean, look at Phoenix. He clearly doesn't like it either.
It's so
You didn't-
brain rotty. It's so bad.
You didn't see like the season finale?
Look,
Dude,
I've
had a whole like watch party.
I was made to watch a couple episodes of it, and it's no. It's
Yeah,
so
it makes
stupid.
sense.
I cried at the end of the season finale when he said skibbity skibbity and they flushed his head down the toilet.
You cried because your brain was so destroyed you didn't know what was a real emotion or not.
I didn't actually freaking
The
watch
joke
any
is
of it.
that he. The joke is that he didn't actually watch it.
It seems this trial has reached its conclusion, so is my fucking patience. There's no room for doubt.
You've got some motherfucking problems to get off of behind court, you know what I'm saying? Get your shit together. Get your act together.
For every minute that Ben has not showed up to stream, I have starved. One, I don't know. I don't know.
Fox cub.
Fox cub, yes.
That's a lot of fox cubs.
I mean, have you
How
seen
come
how
PETA
adorable
hasn't-
foxes are and fox cubs are? Like, goddamn.
Wait,
Yeah,
like,
and
super cute.
it's
I
all
can't
your
believe
fault,
it.
dude.
Like, did you guys know
You
that
own a
foxes?
bunch of foxes.
You gotta-
When is PETA
like-
gonna come down and break down
like-
your door and just
like
do
foxes-
what they do?
Like, foxes are basically a blend between cat and dog, and like, if you like, there's plenty of videos on the internet like with foxes. If you like tickle them and pet them, they actually like laugh and giggle. Like, it's so cute. That's why I hate that
No,
they're such a
dude, yeah,
pest.
literally,
I hate-
foxes are just giant versions of rats because rats do the same fucking thing.
I hate that foxes are like a pest where I live in my country, and that we have to exterminate them. Like, we have to because they're a pest. Because domesticated foxes are adorable.
Well done. I think I didn't need to waste my time. I have got all of my coconuts now. I am Mr. Edwards and I color the coconut. Disproving the murder. It's just like every time you pan over to Edgeworth from Phoenix, he gets like one more coconut added to the pile. Like it's at first it's only like 2 or 3, but like by the end of the case, there's like 50 coconuts.
Whenever you try to get his attention, he's like distracted because he's trying to jam a straw into one.
He's trying to like bite it open. He's just like feral.
Straight up just all like, yo, Edgeworth, are you gonna pass me a coconut? I'm kind of thirsty. No! No, you can't have any. Suck my dick, right? These coconuts are all for me.
Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant.
Boom.
Oh, Emma's here.
Hold it.
She showed up after all.
How many times has this happened?
Your Honor, wait, I was busy doing science things. I'm so sorry for being late.
I want to know how she just pushed Marshall away and then she's on the podium. Like, she's like, get out of here, Cal. Just pushes him off. And he's like,
she was
"Whoa,
like,
she's strong.
Either let her go to the side or she straight up just freaking Batista bombed him. I'm gonna assume it's the latter, though.
The defense
Look
has
at
an
what Edgeworth
objective.
cat.
The defense has an objective, a scientific objection.
What do you mean, Wright? Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian? Your Honor, in a sense. Oh boy, she's causing
In a
trouble.
sense.
My daughter.
God.
No, it's just like a lost puppy, won't leave me alone.
Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your time. Just a tiny bit.
No, get this pest out of here.
Please.
Shoot her.
The judge pulls out a Glock.
I hate children.
Oh boy, all the children I like are boys. Now get the fuck out of here, missy.
I don't want to leave any loose ends. Oh, Edgeworth, what a big sweetheart.
Oh, he's even giving a triple what she's asking for.
Well, yeah. Very nice. He's like,
I'll give you 3.
oh wow, how touching. He's gonna share a coconut with her.
Edgeworth is actually Santa Claus. He's here to spread the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, so she was in shock. Toxic shock, I mean. Finding out the
SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dart killings.
As she mentions it, the names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. Time to find out how she's involved with this incident from 2 years ago.
That's when she figured it out. That Edward wasn't a normal guy. You see, he smelled old, he acted old.
This is the skin of a killer, Bella.
She couldn't believe it when Edward came up behind her and was all like, say it. Say what I am.
Say my name. Heisenberg.
You're Heisenberg. You're goddamn right I am.
Blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker.
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
Because Heisenberg was there.
He cleaned his evidence up. Saying to say, typically I'd be sure to find a clue. So shut the fuck up, Judge.
What the fuck did you say, me little shit?
What did you say to me, bitch?
I ran over there.
What did you say to me, bitch? I'm ready to throw down. I'm still pissed about that marshal, so I want to talk to you real quick.
I hate to like break character and stuff like that, but I was figuring because we're probably not going to do some more investigate. We may actually do investigations again, but I wanted to ask. You know, we had talked about Legend ZA. So what do you guys think?
I have a lot of opinions, but I'm going to choose to reserve a lot of my opinions until I see more of the game. The only thing that I will say, and again, if anybody watching this video, the stream right now disagrees with me, that is fine. But I personally think, and I know that apparently this was said or revealed ages ago, and I didn't know. The whole game being confined to a city, I don't like. I think it's stupid, because the whole idea is it's a Pokemon adventure. And I feel like that's a step back from Arceus, because as Charlie said, Arceus had all these different biomes, right? You had like the beach area, the jungle area, the snow, you had all these different areas, and different Pokemon were found in these areas, and you could explore and then go back to your town. This whole game being set in a city with cornered off little wild areas for Pokemon, it's like, oh yeah, like I'm just gonna go and catch my legendary next to the sedan parked on the street, you know, like it doesn't feel natural, and it being confined to a city, unless the city's massive, it seems restricting. I get where they're going with it, but in terms of like having a huge explorable area and different biomes and different habitats compared to just sectioned off parts of a city, that feels like a step backwards from Arceus, and I'm just like, Game Freak are just always taking one step forward and two steps back, and it frustrates me. But that's all I can say, because we won't know more until more is revealed about the game or the game comes out. Yeah. But just from what we know so far, I don't like that because it feels like a step back from Arceus, and I loved Arceus so much. But this already feels like a step back from that. And yes, they've got a new part of the combat system where you can move around more and stuff that comes into it, and that's great, but they need to do more than just that to innovate on a franchise that is so old. And if this feels like a step back from Arceus, aside from that, it's not enough. It's Game Freak being lazy. The game could also look a lot better than it does. And sure, it's most likely Switch 1 footage. They wouldn't be allowed to use Switch 2 footage. So, of course, it hopefully will look or run better on the Switch 2. Hopefully. But if it doesn't, if it still looks like that on the Switch 2... that immediately is a huge Game Freak L, and I will not buy it. If it looks visually like that on the Switch 2, when they have access to better hardware, that proves that Game Freak are being lazy, because again, and I'm a broken record, but I'll keep saying, look at games like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Heck, even the port of Witcher 3, that was a hard port. That game looks better than what both Scarlet and Violet and Arceus looked visually.
I would say the Witcher 3 port would be a better example, because Xenoblade Chronicles, while it is under product license of Nintendo, isn't actually like owned or made by them and all that shit. I don't know how to explain it.
That's a first party title, whereas Witcher 3 isn't a first party title, but the port of that still looks visually good.
Yeah.
And looks way better than any Pokemon game. So I'm just saying that, like, Game Freak with Pokemon is the biggest franchise in the world. The amount of money the Game Freak has, all they got to do is get help from another developer team, like everyone else does. Get help from someone else. If Game Freak clearly don't know how to make 3D games, because until Sword and Shield, Game Freak were making 3D games. They're only making the DS games, so clearly they don't know how to do it. So just don't be lazy.
A bunch of other smaller companies actually kind of take charge of that. That's what they did with Pokemon Unite and stuff.
Yeah, so they've had other companies doing things. What I'm saying is, like, the mainline games Game Freak have always done, but they don't know how to make 3D games. They clearly don't. All they have to do is, with all that money they have for the biggest franchise in the world, spend some of that to get help from experienced people and actually make a Pokemon mainline game that looks as good as it can do, because looking and running bad is not acceptable. They know that they'll get away with it because people will buy them because it's Pokemon. They know that they can do the minimum effort. They can be like, oh yeah, so we'll add like one little thing to the battle system and bring back Mega Evolutions, and that's enough to get everyone to spend money. And it is enough for people to spend money. But in my opinion, it is not enough for a franchise as old as Pokemon to still stay stuck. Like, they need to put more effort in. So, unless the Switch 2 version of this game looks a lot better, which I'm doubtful, but I'm gonna stay reserved for that. But if you look at all of the footage of ZA, like, there's a scene where there's 2 trainers and Pokemon, like a brick wall behind them. Look at how bad those brick wall assets are. It is unacceptable, to be fair. So,
I mean,
again, we'll wait and see for the Switch 2 stuff of it, but I'm just between that, I'm hoping that looks and runs a lot better on the Switch 2, because clearly that's Switch 1 footage, and that's, again, the Switch 1 is still capable of better than that, but fine, I'll let that slide, even though I shouldn't. But then there's the whole thing we can find in the city. It's like, oh yeah, bye mum, I'm going on my Pokemon journey now, but I'm not leaving the city. Like, okay, cool. But those are my thoughts so far.
A counterpoint to your confined to the city thing. You see, in Legends Arceus, we weren't even a Pokemon trainer. We were just, we were transported back in time to that world, and we were helping the people get familiar with Pokemon. That was our job, to go out into these biomes. In this game, we have a different job. We're still not a formal trainer, even though we get Pokemon on our side. We're helping the urban redevelopment plan. We don't have a reason to go outside the city. We're kind of helping the city in its urban redevelopment plan, so that's our job. We're not formally a trainer. We're not challenging any gyms or anything.
I get that, but I just feel like, I don't know, a Pokemon game, a Pokemon adventure confined to a city just doesn't feel right to me at this present time. It all depends on what they do with it.
Like
it all depends what they do with it. But
something new, but also, like, I'm pretty sure they're gonna add more to it than just the city. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people, in terms of like how lazy Game Freak has been and how they don't innovate a lot, and it's always little tiny baby steps, despite it being the highest grossing franchise in the world and them having millions of dollars to play with. They've been given the new name Same Freak, and I hate how valid it actually is. But that is all I will say on the matter. Up the Japanese side of things, I bet we could get a better explanation as to why they're doing what they're doing.
Probably not.
Also, I mean, should we really focus on the graphics? Because as long as the story's nice,
I mean, yeah, but you know, at the same time,
reason to be in the city.
Well, let's put it this way, okay? If the game still looks and runs bad like that, and it's not going to look good for the Switch 2. People that are going to be looking into buying a Switch 2, if that's one of the first things they see, if a lot of people mainly get the Switch for Pokemon games, and they go to buy a brand new console, and that's what the game looks like, it's not going to be good for the Switch 2 either in the long run. It's just, we know it can do better. We know that Game Freak can do better. We don't need to accept it just because it's Pokemon. If it was anything else, the outcry would be even worse. But so many people, again, it's Pokemon, we love it, and if the story is good, fair.
Unless they're making it stronger than a Steam Deck, it's like, I don't even think that's going to be probable.
All I'm saying is that the Pokemon games that we have now do not have to look or run as bad as they currently do, because the Switch is not that bad, and we've already discussed the proof otherwise. I'm just saying that it's lazy at Game Freak because they don't know how to do 3D worlds. That's not their fault. That's not what they're used to doing. What's lazy of them is not trying to do it better or getting help when they can easily afford to do so. That's my issue. Is they know that they have to make the game look or run more playable. They know that it have to because people will accept it because it's Pokemon. If it was anything else, okay, look at how The Witcher 3 looks on the Switch, right? That port. If that was how The Witcher 3 looked at a broad spectrum, people would be like, dude, companies got shit on the last couple of years for games being just buggy or less optimized. But if they looked like that at their peak, people would be like, why aren't you trying hard enough? Pokemon's only getting away with it because it's Pokemon, and we need to like stop letting that be the only factor. Games don't have to look amazing to be good, but they can at least look like there's more effort. Because again, you look at those ZA assets, and they are like those bricks on the wall of that building are like 360p, and they don't even overlap together properly. Like, it's actually done poorly. It's not good. That's all I will say, is that they can try harder. Everyone else does. There's a standard that's been set, and Game Freak aren't beholden to the standard because it's Pokemon and people will buy it regardless of how bad it is. That's the problem.
Do you think that people would buy a
standard to
new
begin with.
Pokemon game if it was in the style of like Gen 5?
Of like Gen 5?
Yeah, if it was like pixelated like Gen 5, do you think people would buy a new Pokemon game that was in that style?
By Gen 5, do you mean like Black and White and how the sprites are animated and stuff?
Yeah, black and white.
There's a lot of people that prefer that because, and I can't agree with this, Pokemon have less personality in their static 3D models compared to the sprites. Like Black and White, people loved Black and White because how animated and alive like the sprites and stuff were. I feel like when Sword and Shield came out with how like just static and neutral those 3D models were, it was a huge step back, to be honest. Like, Black and White is a masterpiece. People love those games.
Well, Gen 6 was like the first time they did 3D, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it's so pretty much Black and White 2 was the first time they were trying to do pixelated 3D, actually.
Yeah, though that was a huge step. And look, that sprites and those, a lot of people prefer those over 3D models, and I'm like,
Those games
I'm half and half
were
on that.
actually helping the milestone with Pokemon becoming a 3D series, actually.
Yeah.
Fully enough.
I just feel like the effort that Game Freak have been putting in since the series was able to come to a console to Switch. There's not been... I mean, Sword and Shield has its issues, and Sword and Shield actually started out as a 3DS game, so that's different. But everything since then, building it for a system, and clearly making it look like the system isn't capable of doing better, we all know it is, but people accept it anyway, it's just wrong. Again, Game Freak clearly don't know how to do a 3D world very well, and that's fine, but get help and make it better. Don't just be like, oh well, people will buy it anyway, so we'll just cobble together whatever we can and ship it. Like, because they know they can get away with it, and that's the part I don't like. Because there could be a lot more effort. Legends ZA could look nicer and run nicer. It is not the Switch's fault. It is Game Freak's fault being lazy. And so a lot of people are like, I don't know if I want to spend money on a game because that just enables the lazy company to keep being lazy. And that holds everything back. Especially a franchise as big as that, like the most profitable franchise in the world, but the game's like the worst looking games on the console? Are you kidding me? Come on. My logic cannot be lost on people. My logic cannot be lost on people. I know that I say some dumb things. I know I'm not a very smart person, and I have a lot of hot takes, but I feel like the only people that would fight me on that are people that are huge Pokemon fanboys and are saying that I'm not a fan because I don't love everything that I see, like what Charlie got accused of in that video. And it's like, no, people like me speak up about it because we care about the franchise and we know it can be better. It's because I care.
I can't argue with you on that, Phantom. Like, I agree with all the
Can
points.
get
that you're
better?
saying.
I thought it was already fine as it is. Damn.
No, it could
Yeah,
always be better.
Well,
They've only
I'm
taken
not like a
small.
huge-
They've only taken small increments in changing the formula. The biggest switch up to the formula was Sun and Moon. Like, that was the biggest change they ever done with things in that game. They've not made a big leap. And then Arceus was the next big change. But ZA feels like a step back from that in certain aspects. Again, we've got to wait for the game to come out. It is all just...
And Omega Sapphire, actually. Those games, those were pretty good for the 3DS and actually did hit, like, an interesting milestone.
Yeah. I know what the Switch is capable of. There are plenty of other Switch games that prove that. And so there is no excuse for the current Pokemon games to look as bad as they do. It's just Game Freak being like, well, we don't have to put effort into them. People will buy them anyway. We don't have to make them as good as they can be in terms of quality. We'll just churn them out because people buy them. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that.
I was gonna say I can't really argue with your points. Those are valid points, and I know I'm not really helping the situation because So I'm not like a huge critic on like graphics and stuff, and yes,
I'm not
I know
either.
they could be better, but it's a new story, and I think I'm gonna buy it regardless. So I know I'm not helping the situation, but
I'm not normally a huge critic. It's just that again, if it was any other franchise, I wouldn't care as much. But again, it's the most profitable franchise in the world. You know, so they could use that money to at least make the games look better than they do, because it just leads to people saying, oh, it's the Switch's fault. It's not. And I'm tired of people saying that it is, where the evidence is out there, because, like, okay, Pokemon's usually profitable. It is a lot less profitable to port something like The Witcher 3 onto the Switch, because by the time they did that, everyone's played it to death on consoles and PC where it looks best. It looks terrible on the Switch compared to everything else, but they still took a third party, they ported it, and it still looks and runs good for what it is on a very old system, because again, the Switch's like chipset was already old when it came out. And that game still looks and runs better than a first party title from the biggest the biggest franchise in the world, compared to CD Projekt Red's like fourth freaking game. I'm sorry, but please. Clearly there's a problem here. And it's not the Switch, it's Game Freak. Not putting the effort in, because they don't have to. That's all I will say on the matter, because I'm probably going to get dislike bombed for this take on this video. But I don't care, because I might as well be honest instead of just saying, hey, I'm 100% excited for it and I'm going to buy it regardless. Sure, I probably will still buy it, because it's a Pokemon game. I've avoided Scarlet and Violet for these reasons. ZA, I'll probably still play, but it doesn't change the fact that these things need to be handled differently, and Game Freak needs to put in more effort. If the next mainline Pokemon game if ZA looks exactly the same on the Switch too, and doesn't even have a stable frame rate, if it looks the same and plays as bad, and the next game after that still has the same problems, how long are we going to let that go on before we're like, hey, this more effort could be put into this. It's billions of dollars in this franchise. Where is it going? You know? And that's not including the fact the money they make out of everything else. Just the games alone. So I'm just saying, how long do we let it go and keep lapping it up while everything else keeps improving? Every other game innovates, looks more impressive graphically, runs better. The Switch is going to eventually have... The Switch 2 will probably have all these first-party games that like probably lock 60 FPS and look and run beautifully, you know? And then Pokemon's going to look like it does now. Really? Really? Also, Pokken Tournament DX, Pokemon Snap. Look at those games and how pretty they look, alright? Third company games! Game Freak didn't make them! You should expect the top quality from the main developer. Just saying, man. Just... Yeah, I say all this stuff because I care, because the franchise has always mattered to me as a kid, and I'm just disappointed that it just feels like less and less and less and less effort has been made as time goes. They can put a lot more effort into ZA, because heck, they don't even have to make new Pokemon for it. They legitimately don't have to make new Pokemon, they're just making new Megas. They could do so much more. So I have high expectations for the Switch 2 version of this game looks and runs like, but if it's not vastly different, I'm gonna be like, where'd all those years of development time go? Yeah. Again, I don't like going heavy into these things, because a lot of it is also speculation in terms of that game, but in terms of the history and the games you already have, like, there are a lot of people that are blind to it and don't want to talk about it, and it's like, hey, I'm only saying that if I didn't care, I wouldn't say anything. And a lot of this stuff is outlined very well in Charlie's video. Charlie is a lot better at articulating things than I do, and I hate to agree with all the points he makes, but he is 100% right in all of those, and his comment section also agrees with him. Like, yeah, it's not enough.
I was gonna say, so, you know the Minecraft movie that's coming out, right?
I've seen the trailers for that. I'm kind of neutral on it. I'll probably watch it, but I'm not as invested in Minecraft as other people are, so I don't... Well,
I was just gonna say, they made figurines for, like, the movie, right? And it's basically just, like, realistic kind of looking Minecraft, like mobs and stuff like that, but the Steve figure is literally just Jack Black in a blue shirt. It's literally just a realistic
Really?
Jack Black figurine.
I mean, that's what it looks like in the movie, yeah.
Funny. Yeah, but if you look at it, it's just compared to the other figurines, I guess. He's the only realistic looking one. It's super
Yeah.
What, so you mean they didn't make a Jason Momoa figure? Wow.
No, they didn't.
How could
Not
they?
yet. And you
How
know
could
what? They should have. I personally think they should have not made real life into Minecraft for a movie like how they're doing. They should have just made it like an animated 3D film or some shit. Like
Yeah.
how they did with Minecraft Adventures. Like, you know, they could have literally made a Minecraft Adventures movie.
You know what?
Because, I mean, the game itself is already a movie.
You know what movie? Okay. I wonder if anybody paying attention to the stream watching this video is going to dislike for this. If you dislike this opinion, please tell me in the comments a response to this, right? In my opinion, doing a live action How You Train Your Dragon is the biggest waste of time and money I've ever seen in a long time in the movie industry. That is such a big waste of time. Why do we need to do a live action version of How to Train Your Dragon? How to Train Your Dragon is a great movie. It's a wonderful trilogy. Why do we need a live action version? If they're not changing anything, if the story is not being changed, and the CGI dragons look the same, why are we doing it? For what purpose? Who is it for? Who can't watch the animated one? I don't understand why it exists. We don't need these live action remakes. There is no point. It achieves nothing. So,
Oh, it's
Let
usually
me
because
know.
the elderly people in charge of everything have kids who want remakes of their quote-unquote nostalgia, and then they just do it for their kids mainly.
because I feel like kids would enjoy the animated one more than the live action one. Because the animated one had so much style and charm and character compared to just people. Like, the reason why animated movies are so popular because of the charm and the color and the character design. Like, you can't have unique character design when it's real people. Like, that's what makes things like, you know, like all these animated classics, like, you know, like Shrek and all the Pixar films, like, they stand out and they're special, not just because of their stories, but because of the design and the character and the effort. Live action just takes away all of that. Like, in How to Train Your Dragon, the only thing that's going to be unique is the dragons, and they look the same as they do. Like, there's no point. Like, just make new things. Make new franchises. Why are we remaking these movies?
That makes me want to ask you, what do you think of the Shrek 5 teaser?
I have not seen it. I mean, Shrek came out when I was like 12, right? I was like 11 or 12 years old. Love that movie. But how much are we gonna milk it to death? You know, do we really need 5 of them?
To be fair, the movies don't come out unless it's like every few years. They take a long ass time.
Yeah,
to come out.
but I just feel like, I don't know, man. After the first 3, I was kind of like, that's enough. Like, do we have to keep? You just have to keep going? Like, how many? It's like Fast and the Furious, right? I enjoy those movies, but do we need 10 of them? No, I don't
Or
think
it's
so.
like Ice Age. Do we really need more of it?
No, I don't even remember the last Ice Age I watched. Like, after so many, I was like, I've seen enough. Like, what else can you do with this without it just being fully recycled? Or, and again, like, how many times are you gonna beat me over the head with it? It's like, oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Have you guys heard that they're doing a new live-action Harry Potter? Have you heard about that?
No, because
No,
I stopped
I
caring
haven't
about
heard
that.
They're doing it as a series, like a Netflix series. It's gonna be a live-action series instead. And I'm like, we don't need that. Come on. We've got the books, we've got the movies. We don't need more.
Oh, series?
Yes, we
Well, I
don't.
mean, if it's a series, it depends on what they're doing.
I mean, yeah, they could include more, but we don't need the stories rehashed again. And I feel like it's kind of like, okay, now that most
Isn't
of...
it gonna be like isn't it gonna be like a series where it's based in the universe but not about the main character?
No, it is a retelling. It is a retelling of the original story of the books and the movies. It's a retelling of that.
No.
Which is like, you could do anything. You could do anything in that world, but you're going to retell these again. So you're going to do a series and recast everybody. You know, also, like, remembering that, like, a lot of the adult casts in the early movies are gone now. And they're going to retell the story. Like, you don't need to tell it again.
Yeah, they're gonna Yeah, I think they're doing it because of J.K. Rowling and trying to separate the art from the artist. That could be probably.
We don't need the stories again. The story has been told in the movies, have been told in the books. We don't need them told again. Like, how many times are you going to recycle? Again, the Harry Potter universe is vast, right? There's a lot of lore there. If they wanted to do a series, like, you know, when they did new movies, right? They didn't remake the movies. They did the Fantastic Beasts movies. They did something different. So for a series, they can explore something else. Hogwarts Legacy, the game, they didn't just rehash the Harry Potter story since all the games have already been made. You know, it's a whole new story. So a live-action series, when I first heard about it, I was like, oh, cool. They could do it set in the future. They could make a live-action series about, like, Harry's son. That's been explored. There's a book about that. They could do that. No, they're just retelling the same story again. It's like, just lacking inspiration and innovation. Like, oh, let's just tell the same thing. Let's not innovate or try harder. Let's just tell the same story, but break it into a series. That'll make it different enough. It's like, it just feels like people are getting lazier, and I hate it. I hate it, because it's always rewarded.
Right.
Things are remade more often, things get lazier, because people still buy it or still, you know, consume it. And so, developers and writers and movie makers will just be like, hey, we can put less effort and still profit, so let's just do less new things and remake things every couple of years. It's like The Last of Us, right? The Last of Us came out in PS3. Then it got a remastered version of the PS4. And then they remastered it again that wasn't even 10 years old. Yeah, Horizon Forbidden West is a remaster. That game's not even 10 years old, and it's got a remaster already. When someone says to me they're going to remaster or remake a game, I'm thinking the game's old, and it's been brought back, you know, brought back generations later. But, no. Horizon Zero Dawn got a remaster, and it's only on a previous generation of console. Like, please. It's lazy. And they sell it at full price. Because they know, like, hey, let's not make a new game. Let's just put a HD texture pack on this and repackage it at $80 and people buy it. Easy. Look at that. Didn't even have to put any effort in. It's like, bro, are you serious? This is what I mean. It's... people need to stop recycling things and being lazy, but they're rewarded for it, and so things are just getting more samey, and more things are being recycled, and there's less new things. There's less progression. We're just recycling stuff. And I hate it. It hurts.
Did you see the new Death Battle?
Yeah, remind me the combatants, because I can't remember.
Spawn versus Ghost Rider.
Yes, I did watch that. I watched that a few days ago.
Oh. Holy crap, I need to watch that after stream.
It's good.
It was awesome. Peak. And you know who the next fighters are, right?
I've already forgotten.
Mahito versus Shigaraki.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting, actually. Because Shigaraki...
I think it might have been more interesting if it was, instead of Shigaraki, if it was Kira from JoJo Part 4, Yoshikage Kira versus Mahito, because they have very similar abilities. So that whenever you touch something, they just blow up.
Yeah. Well, Shigaraki makes you decay when he touches you, right? I'm behind on my hero.
Yeah, and I just think Shigaraki, I'm going to say it, like, some JJK fans are going to be mad. I think Shigaraki steals this, because he doesn't even have to be close to you. It could be like he could be 50 miles away, touch the ground, and you still disintegrate.
That reminds me of an OC I had that got cursed by a lich. He basically accidentally stumbled upon a lich's lair that was slowly waking up from its slumber and was going to take over the planet, and it did. But beforehand, it cursed him for everlasting life to be his puppet and vessel, and also his body is slowly rotting away. But he has like one skeletal arm, and that arm itself acts like a King Linus touch. What was it, King Linus? Yeah, it's like King Linus, except because that's why I based the character off of. Except turning anything into gold, he just he rots everything away. Metals rust away, tables rot, including people, where they'll eventually zombify, and the only thing left in their mind is to serve him forever until they just drop completely dead. Which is something he likes to avoid, because it's like, damn. I don't know, that just reminded me of that, because E2 rots stuff away. Sorry,
You want to know?
No.
Sorry to change the subject, because we were talking about Pokemon for a second. So I play a lot of Pokemon Go, right? You want to know what I got in Pokemon Go recently?
What?
I got me a shiny black Kyurem. It's my strongest Pokemon.
Oh, that's fucking sick. Let's go. Yeah, recently in Pokemon Sword and Shield, besides getting that that one centipede Pokemon, like a shiny, nonetheless, like out in the wild. I was in the Dynamax den and I got that I can't remember the name of the Pokemon, but it's based off of Bruce Lee. Anyways, I got the shiny version of that unintentionally, because, I guess it was one of the Pokemon offered to me, and then... I'm getting lucky with collecting shinies, man. Holy shit. But getting a shiny legendary? Dude, you're on a whole other level.
I had to do a whole bunch of raids to get that. I sent the picture to the group chat if you want to take a look at it.
Oh, look at this. Yes.
Also reminds me, I got this shiny Hisuian Sneasler. I named it Cross. So anyway, those are kind of like some of my strongest shinies that I have. What do you think of shiny black Kyurem, Phantom?
Oh, I don't know, I'm trying to figure this out. I've completely lost track of the case and I don't know what I'm trying to do now.
Oh yeah, that's right. Riley,
So I am playing a game and streaming here. I am trying to stream a game here.
Sorry. It was an interesting discussion.
It was.
I'll probably get a little flack for it though, to be honest.
We're supposed to be reading the fucking title.
It's easy to get sidetracked, okay?
I'm just thankful that I'm not a big creator, because I'd probably get absolutely slammed for the stuff that I've said tonight.
Nah, some people would probably agree with you.
Hell, there's 2 dislikes on our previous stream. I don't know what happened last week that people didn't like, but there's 2 dislikes on there. There was...
You just got
probably
It was like... It was...
They always do that.
It was... No, they don't always, because these are the only streams I've dislikes on. I do 4 streams a week, and these are the only ones.
I don't know what else to tell you besides that's still the case and doesn't prove me wrong, but...
Because last week there was 17 and 1, and then a couple of days later it was 16 and 2. Which means that one of them turned into a dislike, which is weird.
One of them turned on me.
It's weird. It's very strange.
It's still a good ratio, though.
Yeah, it's just weird, because I'm like, there wasn't really anything in those streams that I can think of that happened that would be worthy of getting it, so I don't know.
I don't know, some people are just crazy. Maybe they were like, man, I wish these guys would just, like, actually lock in on the case or something. I don't know. That's the only reason I can think of, is if someone really likes Ace Attorney and they don't like how we're playing it or something.
No, they want us to die a horrible burning death. That's the only solution I can think of, nothing else.
The only explanation is that they hate me.
That they totally fucking hate us with a burning, brimming passion, and right now they are trying to send the FBI to all of our locations, and for Phantom specifically, the Australian FBI.
Wait, is that a thing? The Australian
Probably.
FBI?
Probably. They would have their own, like...
Ben. Silly Ben. Everyone knows Australia doesn't have laws.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's how he's able to put me in the attic, in the basement, and you in the attic.
Yeah.
I'll put this up, otherwise I'm going to be using every single piece of evidence one at a time.
I was gonna say, if you use the court log, that could also help you catch up. Just skimming over it.
Phantom, like, just, like, stops and he looks at the screen and then he says, yeah, I know.
Well,
Point?
the court record is just everything we have. It's not a record of dialogue.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. My bad.
No.
Like, Ben, what would you do if Phantom actually just, like, crashed out on you? He was like, yeah, I know.
I'd just be all like, oh, really? Then fucking act like it! Rah, 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 rah. Marine, let's go! No, actually, I'd just be a little baby, be like, really? Did you?
Hmm.
I guess I've got another kind of short question. Are there any like mobile games that you were keen on? Like I know a lot of people really don't like mobile games, but are there any mobile games that you like?
I don't know, I liked Girls from Mine until my phone couldn't play it anymore.
Sorry, what?
Wait. I liked Girls Frontline until my phone couldn't play it anymore.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of mobile games nobody knows about because no one likes to play them unless it's literally the only console you can fucking play.
Guys, I like Clash of Clans. I'm so hip with the kids.
No, it's all about auto pets. Oh my gosh. My mouse not lag. I'm trying to speed up this thing to catch up to speed. It's like, oh, you want to go full screen? You want to go... Oh, you want to minimize the YouTube video? Oh, okay. Like, no, I don't. Far-fetched balderdash? What? I'm reading the dialogue.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh? What are you doing? Stop gooning in the corner, Edgeworth. Get back over here.
What are you talking about?
I was gonna say, oh, well, Officer Meekins clearly was on his period, Your Honor, and just forgot to wash his hands.
Ew.
Ew? Dude, scat's, like, grosser than period blood, I can assure you. It just, you know. Either way.
What are you going on
what?
about?
What the fuck what do you mean what am I going on about? I'm just defending... Whatever. I'm defending that blood in general is, like, not as bad as other body functions. Not that gross.
It's still, it doesn't matter if it's as gross, it's still gross.
I mean, not that gross compared to other stuff. Trust me.
Trust me, I've seen some things.
I have seen things your mortal eyes couldn't comprehend or want to comprehend, quite frankly.
Show us the evidence that proves it occurred.
When did the first incident occur? I forgot. He says,
I hate to break it to you, freaking everyone out. You need to tone it down a bit. The audience is terrified.
terrified of these nuts, I know.
Like, we've gotten multiple complaints about you and just what you're doing. You need to calm down.
Wait, what am I doing? What are we joking about?
I don't know, I'm just nothing actually.
Oh, okay. I was like, dude, I'm reading. I literally couldn't understand. I'm sorry. If it's so simple, then don't get it wrong.
Wait, what?
If Ha was an acceptable example, we wouldn't the police or or we would just use the police. I think that's what he said. Oh gosh. Did the judge really rip on the freaking police station?
The judge and the police station have serious beef.
They sure do.
Every time I see the last name Goodman, I get whiplash and hear the Saul Goodman theme in my brain.
I think it would be very funny if Ace Attorney and Breaking Bad did like a crossover.
I think it would be better if it was Better Call Saul, though, because Saul's the only lawyer.
Well, yeah, but like that's why you would need, sure, like you could do Better Call Saul, but if you did Breaking Bad, imagine the trial of Walter White, and you're having to either defend him or prosecute him. So you can either be Saul or you can be, yeah, imagine Saul versus Edgeworth.
Saul versus Phoenix Wright. No, it would definitely be Saul versus Edgeworth, though, because that's what Saul does. Like, Your Honor, my client did not do that shit. He is not guilty. You should drop these charges, because he ain't on that shit, bro.
Actually, I'm thinking about it, I think I've seen an animation, like, Saul and Ace Attorney.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them crossover animations out there, and art, too. Okay, must have taken place before Mr. Edward entered the evidence room. Correct. Let's look at the chart again. At 420, blaze it.
What?
What are you talking about?
The stuff on the screen.
Did someone say the time of the death was 420?
No, it was, I saw the time 420 literally on the stamp card. I love how he literally just repeated all the sevens as much as he could.
Your Honor, my client, Mr. Edgy, is not edgy.
I'm not finished talking, bitch. This is one situation which we can't be granted such damn authority.
This ain't good, Chief.
Yeah, this ain't good indeed. I'm just ad-libbing it. Gosh, what the hell? Why does it keep doing that? I'm pressing the settings, not the full screen. You can't just...
So, I think I might have already asked this, but I'm not 100% sure. I guess this is a question for both of you. What has been your favorite case so far?
You have asked in the past, but not during this case, where it's like the final one. I'd have to say...
I really like the mystery of the one where, you know, they thought that Edgeworth committed the murder, because it felt deep and personal. There was a whole backstory of like people thinking there was like, you know, a monster in that lake and stuff, and the old guy that pretended to have memory loss and for a long time were convinced that he had lost his memory, but he was the person who was in the elevator. Like how that all came together, and so many things that felt like they weren't related to it came together, and also because how personal for Edgeworth it was. I feel like in terms of the overall story, that played a huge part. In the overall narrative, I feel like that was one case that was more significant than others to the overall story. So I really enjoyed just how connected everything actually was, no matter how meaningless it was. Plus, you got to borrow Gumshoe's dog and take him around the beach. Like I liked it. I really liked that case.
That's fair. I don't know. I want to say maybe the one where you were against that JoJo looking character, the second one.
Oh yeah.
Or what was the third case again?
I forget which.
It was literally about her death, Mia's death.
It wasn't the Steel Samurai. I didn't really like the Steel Samurai.
No, the Steel Samurai is not related to Mia's death. That was
It was the red, white, and blue case. That was the name of it.
It was the second case.
That one, I
the
think,
first
was
full
probably
case.
my favorite. The second one.
It was basically the first full case after the tutorial, really. Mia was killed off
Pretty
immediately.
much, yeah.
Yeah. Personally, I'm gonna be biased. I like this case only because of the character Angel, because her food boxes look really tasty, and that's just about it. I mean, I know it's kind of a shallow thing, but I like all the cases in general because they're unique in their own way, and it's pretty damn cool. But personally, I love the way video games make food look edible and tasty. So you know.
Yeah, because regular food is not edible.
Speaking of food, my favorite food in a game, in terms of like how the food looks in a game. If you guys haven't seen it, the food in Final Fantasy 15 is peak. It looks incredible.
Yeah, but what about the what the fuck is that monster game called?
Which one?
Where you hunt monsters that
Monster
look like
Hunter?
dragons?
The whole series?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, the whole series. Their food looks so dang good.
Their
The
food
way
does
the
look
cats
good.
and
Of
whatnot.
course, each game only has like one type of food, right? Final Fantasy 15 has a huge variety of different foods, and they all look so photorealistic. Like, if you look up like YouTube clips of Final Fantasy 15 food, you'll be blown away. Because remember, Final Fantasy 15 actually came out quite a while ago now. But like, the food in that game looks immaculate. Like, it looks edible. It's incredible.
A lot. And yeah, I don't play Monster Hunter, but I know people who have played it and are fans of the series, so I learned through them and also watch their stuff. Actually, one of my very first, well, it wasn't a commission because I didn't get paid for it, but the first time I ever did art for somebody because they asked nicely was for this old Facebook friend I had, and he was a Monster Hunter fan, and I actually drew his, well, the best I could, a little headshot icon of his Monster Hunter OC. And then also, I did these Jinjinka forms for his Pokemon team in Sun and Moon. Or, no, not Sun and Moon, I think it's X and Y. The one where it has the water starter that looks like a mermaid in the final evolution that's also like a circus-esque. I don't know how to explain it. But, yeah. Good times. You know, I should probably actually play Monster Hunter and actually get into it. Oh man. Granny Palico, specifically the rare Xian Koot Koot Chop.
Some of the older ones definitely worth getting into. Like the 3DS one, Generations, is really popular. I played.
Yeah, I heard it was. Yeah.
I just can't play the new one because my PC's already been edged out by it. The standard's been shifted because apparently the 50 series graphics cards exist now, which I didn't even know. The 5070 exists now. So my 2080 Super is no longer good enough to run games that come out brand new now because Monster Hunter Wilds, my PC would not handle very well, which really sucks. That I haven't even had my PC for 6 months and it's already been slowly edged out. So at some point I'm probably going to have to save up some money and buy another new graphics card and probably, well, updating the processor would be a bit harder, but I don't know enough about that. And the one IT place that can take my PC to, the guys that fix my computer, that store is closing down. It's doing its 50% off everything closing down sale right now. So when that store is closed,
At least
So I'm literally losing an IT place in my town. So if my computer dies again, I don't know where to take it. Because the place that I go to,
50% off sale. Maybe you could get a good price to have your graphics card updated by them.
they don't sell higher end graphics cards in that store.
Oh, that blows. Okay.
Yeah. The only thing that I probably could have bought from there was like maybe a new monitor, but from what my mum told me a couple of days ago, the place is already mostly cleaned out, so I haven't even gone. It's funny that my next door friend was a manager there, and he trained all the people there, and then he got a new job, and now the place is closing. I guess it's good that he got a new job when he did, because otherwise he would have been out of a job instead. But now all the guys that he trained are out of a job, so kind of a pity. I think there's another place you can take computers to get repaired to, but I've heard a lot of like negative things from like the town community in general, that apparently they overcharge you and they're not very reliable at the job, so I'm just a little worried the people that I trusted, store's closed. Well, closing. It's, you know, it's going, and it's like, well, that's great.
So is there anywhere, like outside of your town that you'd be able to take, your computer to if it dies? Or?
If it dies, I don't know. If there's a place in Kalgoorlie or Albany, I could drive the 4 hours there. But then I'd have to leave it there and then drive back and then drive 4 hours back to pick it up again. If there's a place in those towns that does it, again, I don't know for sure. It's not great.
That's worrying. I don't know what I would do.
I just have to hope that nothing goes wrong. It also means, though, that if I did eventually like want to get like a new graphics card or a new processor, I don't have a reliable place to take it to do that for me, because again, I don't know how to do that stuff. Shrug.
Right.
Yeah.
But my PC's been edged out already by new stuff now, because it can't even handle Wilds, which sucks, because I actually did want to play that. But yeah, apparently the 50 series graphics cards exist now. It's like, well, that was quick. Felt like not that long ago the 40 series stuff was new.
I just realized Lana's looking away from her sister while she talks in this spray.
Ooh. I'm not 100% on who did it.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Who did you guess it was again, Ben?
What?
Who did you guess, like, did it?
I can't remember. I think it was like either Angel or the fucking police chief other guy who like swirls his like one bang on his forehead.
Yeah.
Chief of police.
Yeah, the chief of police, exactly. Like, I feel like he had something involved with it, but it wasn't like a malicious type of killing. I feel like there's some inner politics within the police station that they're trying to cover up, because that's what it seems like. Oh, goodness gracious.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. She's kind of a stupid bitch sometimes.
Just crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. Also, I totally killed that guy 100%. I love killing. I am a serial killer in disguise, blah blah blah. Yeah, you should arrest me totally. This is not a framework or anything.
Man, I just don't understand what she said when she said it was a framework. I mean, it's not like we were in a steel building or anything. Gosh, my sister is just so mysterious and vague. I can't believe she used me for her crime. That fucking bitch.
Hey, language. Wait,
Ah,
there's no way that
I'm
Lana
fucking
actually did it.
sorry, bro. I'll watch my motherfucking language.
Yeah, I don't know if you fucking know this, but there's like people who don't like those fucking words.
Damn.
What's your damn language?
Shit, okay, that just fucking blows. Sorry, bro. Oh, so she was a witness. So her and, yeah, so one thing I know for sure, Emma and Lana have a distinct, they have funnily enough, an unusual connection to Mia and Maya with their case, kinda.
What makes you
I don't
say
know,
that?
No, I don't know, just guess, you know, nothing too big. But,
Just a
yeah, just a little hunch. But it seems like this might have been done to protect Emma, maybe. Emma is unintentionally involved in not just because her sister called her. Or maybe that is just the case and I'm just overthinking it. Jake Marshall's brother tried to take him hostage. Or he could, Mr. Marshall attacked him. Oh man, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the story the DSP I work with. He told me how his sister actually almost became a victim of Ted Bundy back in the 70s.
Real?
Yeah, real shit actually. Do you know who Ted Bundy is, Phantom?
Name sounds familiar.
Infamous American serial killer out of Minnie. Yeah, I'll tell you more after stream, obviously, if you were more curious. But long story short, he basically tried to abduct her in a van. She was like in her early 20s and shit, and during that time of the 70s, she was a vagabond hippie and not trusting the government, so she didn't even report the crime to the police because of that. But basically, she had this giant ass dog with her. Don't remember the breed of the dog, but it's big, you know. And as soon as he opens up his van and is trying to coax her in and all this shit, she's all like, I'm good. But then the dog flips the fuck out, going overprotective mode on her, and just keeps barking at Ted Bundy, and just, yeah, she was like, okay, no, I'm not going in. My dog doesn't like you, I don't like you. And he's like, no, come in. Like, he tried to get her in. She's like, no, fuck off. And he ended up driving off once she ran away into the forest or some shit, I don't remember, but yeah, years later down the line, she got into true crime when her mom did, my DSP's mom as well, and there was a book about Ted Bundy, obviously, so when she saw him on the cover, she's like, wait a minute, I recognize that motherfucker, and after skimming through the pages and reading through it, she's like, oh my god, I could have been one of these people! Like, holy shit.
That's terrifying.
So, that is very terrifying, yes. And I'm like, man, I'm so glad I wasn't born in, like, the 50s or 60s and grew up in the 70s, 80s, or 90s. I would have not survived, I'm not gonna lie. Especially the 60s and 70s. I would have been just easy bait. Yes, she has been through so much. No. She was only 14.
So, did we figure out how Marshall's brother died? Because he was pretty confident that,
Yeah,
it was all here. All this dialogue that's been playing out this whole time. It's all been explained.
You gotta be looking at the screen.
The whole thing
I
has been
read it.
explained.
Just basically, Joe Dark killed him. So
Yeah, but no, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. I meant that, like, he was pretty confident that he couldn't lose that fight,
Yeah,
so...
it wasn't a fight. It was all just explained.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was like a sneak attack or some shit.
He was protecting Emma from being killed. He was shielding her. He jumped in front between them and protected her. That's how he died. That's how she's involved. Like,
Joe Dark's a creep.
it's all been explained this whole time that I've been silent reading this.
Okay.
You're Riley. Why aren't you reading, huh?
If you must know, it was reading that killed my grandfather. Really don't like to talk about it.
Fucking singing killed my grandma. I don't like to talk about it.
Okay, but for real though, I'll
Singing
watch
killed
it.
my grandma. Okay.
Better have another talk with her. Lana used to be a detective. Yeah, no shit, she would have been a detective. How is that a surprise to you with the position she's in? She had
Because she's
whatever.
chief prosecutor. Are you saying that Edgeworth had to be a detective? Because you don't have to be a detective to be a prosecutor. Like, there's no link there. So it is surprising.
No, but the way she carries about herself, especially her uniform, you can tell that it's like military-esque. So it's like
That's got nothing to do with
police
being a
wouldn't be
detective.
surprised. Detective, I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm surprised.
I've seen too much NCIS and other of the likes because of my mom, so I think that's probably why
I grew up watching
It's not
Jag.
surprising.
That didn't tell me that she was a detective 2 years ago.
Like I said, I watched a lot of NCIS and other shows similar to NCIS, like a shit ton, because that's all my mom would watch half the time. So I mean, like, and when I mean a lot, I mean like we have NCIS, CSI Miami, freaking Criminal Minds, not Blue Bloods, but what was that other shit? Hold on. I have to actually look up the names because I didn't remember them all. Okay, no, yeah, so she did watch Blue Bloods, Criminal Minds, Law and Order, NCIS, Miami, oh yeah, NCIS Miami, NCIS Los Angeles, regular CSI, no, that seems to be it so far. But yeah, she's watched a bunch of other shows that aren't listed from what I've said that aren't showing up for some reason, but if I remembered the names, I'd be spouting them. Not like it matters.
See, I don't watch a lot of like live action shows, but my question I guess is, I don't know, if you okay. What would you recommend? Because like the only one that I watched that I really liked was Breaking Bad.
So for live action shows, because I don't watch those a lot either. Let's see. One of the ones I recommend would be, besides the early seasons of Supernatural, I recommend House MD, like the full show, because it's not that bad. It's pretty good. Scrubs is alright, it's pretty funny. I recommend highly watching Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's pretty funny, it's the similar type of vibe, it's like police station. Let's see. If you're into crime detective stuff, there is a show I used to watch on, like, OPB. It's about a French detective solving crime in, like, 1930s, I think, of the world. Interesting stuff, really touching.
I kind of want to watch The Boys, but also I feel like I'll hate Homelander too much to actually, like, genuinely watch it.
Well, no, you should watch it because you will build up your hatred for him. The only reason why we hate Homelander is because of, like, wannabe alpha male boys. But truly, the reason why you should hate Homelander is for the reasons in the movie, so definitely watch it, or you may not even hate him afterwards, who knows. I haven't watched it yet. And then there's this one show that's actually flopped, and it's kind of crappy, but it's on Hulu.
Which is called.
I'm trying to look up the name of it because I forgot. It's been forever since I saw it. It was like... I can't find it. Okay. Well, I'll tell you later, but basically the main character is a 2D cartoon guy who's a parody of, like, He-Man and all those other characters similar to him from the 80s. And the rest of the cast is pretty much live action in a live action setting. So it's like Roger Rabbit, but a cartoon, but like a show. And at some segments, there are other cartoon 2D characters that show up and like are in the live action setting, or you're in the animated world. Like they're technically it's a different dimension. So it's like I think the explanation of why he looks like that, but it is a really interesting show. The writing is somewhat good. It is average. It is rewatchable for like background noise, pretty much, which I might end up putting on at some point because I'm tired of having fucking Family Guy and American Dad in the background.
I actually kind of want to watch more Family Guy, to be honest.
Well, I might stream some after stream if I'm awake, which I think I will be actually. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be, especially with what I'm consuming.
You drinking an energy
Well, no,
drink?
what the fuck did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I might have thought about framing my sister, but I changed my mind.
How could you do this?
He's right. It's quite a coincidence.
Yeah, I don't buy that shit.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved that instant just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Yeah, Officer Marshall. Yeah. He's a little, he's been a little bit stubborn ever since his brother died.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling of Joe Dark. Yeah, life doesn't end with a closing case. The world doesn't stop spinning
When one dies, we all got our own shit to do.
Alright,
Maybe- Maybe the real Ace Attorney was the friends we made along the way.
The Ace Attorney was the friends we made along the way, yes. Oh, shit, that's right. I gotta show you to my fucking favorite abridged thing later. That's called, you ever heard the anime Case Closed or Detective, Shonen? Not Shonen. Conan?
I've heard of Conan before.
It's an old anime from like the 80s or 90s that has been still ongoing to this day, including the manga series, which is based off of like similar to the American comics in old radio shows where it was like a case by week type of thing. So it's like old detective comics, and it's really funny. I mean, the series, the regular series itself is interesting. But it's the show that's awesome, and the abridged series that's really funny in my opinion by this one YouTube group that has not uploaded in forever. Last time I checked, like they just kind of stopped, and I have a feeling it's because just YouTube didn't like their shit. They kept getting copyright striked, but I don't know. Also, a few of my favorite songs, or at least my music taste grew because of this channel. Because I didn't know the genre of music that I liked, the name for it, so once I figured it out through them, I was like,
Again. Didn't know the name of this.
Also, you should watch the live-action Fallout show. I haven't yet, but I've heard it's good.
Yeah, but
Couldn't Marshall have been arrested for, what he did? Or did he just get out of the police station?
Him? Like
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, I mean, look at him.
Yeah, I think he's allowed to have that knife on him.
He
Like,
doesn't.
totally.
He doesn't have a
No.
knife on him. Okay. Again, the dialogue said that he's gonna go and turn himself in, but first we want to talk to him. It's all in the dialogue, guys. Come on.
That's not what I'm talking about. We're referring to his character animation where he's shaving himself.
Well, it's not an evidence. It's not a murder weapon. It's just his knife. He always has
Yeah,
it.
I know. That's what I'm trying to.
You're
That's
not
what
allowed
I'm
to have it
saying.
in court, though.
Yeah, no, it's
Well,
yeah,
it's
but
just part of his
that's
animations.
because
He
there's
probably-
no evidence showing that he's used it. Clearly, it's not. Yeah, there's no evidence showing that he's used it.
I think you're
They
overthinking
probably
this
already
a
tested
lot.
it. They don't need to like bring it up during dialogue and stuff. So. Also, I mean, he has a knife. They have guns and tasers. I think it's fine.
I like to imagine, so I don't think they ever made it clear if this game takes place in Japan or America or like a mixture of both, but I
Google.
imagine that like Marshall is like the Japanese weeb, but like American, like for America, so he's like dressing up in cowboy
Yeah, he's
attire.
an American boo. Those exist, by the way.
For real?
Yes. I don't think it's the actual term, but they do exist. I mean, there are super fans in Japan for King of the Hill and Family Guy and stuff, so I mean... Archer, Bob's Burgers... I mean,
Could
they
you
argue
imagine-
about whether the English dub or sub is actually better. Like how we do here, it's pretty funny.
So, a person who
Dude,
greatly
I-
admires or favors America or things American culture is called an Americanophile.
Yeah, which is,
Oh,
or you
I
can
like
go
American
the other
Boo
route,
better.
which is called a America Boo, because Weeaboo is basically a Japanophile.
Yeah, obsessed with
Which is
Japanese
in the
culture
definition.
is Japanophilia.
Oh, so
know
they
how I
changed
feel
it now on me, huh? Okay, I see.
No, that's just you have Japanophilia. It probably makes
I'm just
it.
gonna-
know,
I'm just
I
gonna
meant
keep
it
calling
said
it
a different
America
word
Boo.
last time I saw it a few years ago. Japanophilia, Japanophile, it's the same thing, yeah.
I'm just gonna keep calling it an America Boo.
While the original Japanese versions of the games are set in Japan, the series localizations are set in the United States, primarily Los Angeles, though retaining Japanese cultural elements. There you go. Question
This
is
is the
answered.
AU where Japan helped, actually kicked America's ass during World War II.
As I said, it's a localized version, so it's set basically in Los Angeles. Otherwise, but if it's not localized, then it's just in Japan.
Wait,
So,
imagine
all
in
of-
the Japanese version, Marshall is just a samurai.
That'd be funny.
Like, oh wait, we need to make this character, even though we already had a whole chapter about samurais, we're gonna make this guy a cowboy, yeah. But could you imagine, like, some foreigner coming up to you, like, from Japan, dressed up as, like, Peter Griffin, and then just, like what a person who likes anime would probably go to Japan and do and be like, remember the time? Hey, do you remember the time?
I'm not gonna lie, I find that endearing as fuck and have vibe with the dude. That's funny as shit. That's something I would have fun with.
He's like dressed up as Peter Griffin, except they have the opposite problem. So we like try to dress up as their like really buff characters, except we're really fat. But they want to dress up as Peter Griffin, but they're like really skinny.
exactly.
Do you remember the time?
Actually, no, it'd have to be a sumo wrestler. No, there's some large Asians in Japan. You just don't see them a lot because they're hidden by the media. But they're there. There's a
It's
lot.
like we have the opposite. So like they have, like, you know, it's rare to see a. I don't know. I haven't looked at statistics, but going off of what you just said, then it would be rare to see like an overweight person. Where it's not super rare to see an overweight person in America.
I was gonna say it's not really weird to see it in Japan either, because again, I mean, sumo wrestling.
I was just going off of what you said.
Okay. Fuck, this guy does not want to haggle, son of a bitch.
I will say this is probably the longest case in the whole game.
No, they've been progressively getting longer, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I think we actually discussed this too a couple of streams ago. But this is like the tip of the iceberg from what I understand. I think in like the second or third game, you've got like probably 2 or 3 times longer than this. I don't know for sure. Let me look up what is the longest case in the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Probably not in this game, but in another game, yeah.
Case and Acer.
That last bit of dialogue. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, he's turning himself in. Fuck.
Oh.
Don't do it, Marshall! Don't do it!
Well, it was already confessed everything in court, so if he didn't, he would just be on the run, then he'd be even more trouble.
No.
No.
No!
That's sad.
It's like adios, Bambina, and I'm
It's
like,
strange.
that's a term of endearment for someone young.
It's strange.
Ah!
It's
He
strange how
thinks
they're
of
all.
her as a younger sister. Ah!
It's strange how they were all like moved on or fired at the end of that case. It's very suspicious how that all played out. It makes no sense to me. There's more. This Gant guy, the chief of police, he's the one that's in charge of all of that. There's stuff that he knows that nobody else knows, because the whole thing is fishy as hell now.
You know, actually, I was wrong. No, we were both wrong. This is, in the first trilogy, the one we're currently on, is the longest case in the first trilogy of games, spanning about 9 hours.
Yeah, wow.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, Okay, yeah, 9 hours. And then the, yeah, and especially in the first game, the only thing that even comes close to that is, the last case we just did, which was only about 5 hours long. So this is nearly double the length of the last case.
Hmm.
Yeah. Chief
Also,
Gant
thank you
has
for showing me that channel fan on Man Meets Beard or Food Meets Beard.
Beer meets food. You got it wrong twice.
Sorry, jeez. I didn't. I watched a few of them though. I like to watch it while I'm eating.
Yep,
if that
same.
makes sense.
Yeah, I put it on when I first wake up in the morning, and then like make breakfast or lunch. I put that on. I either watch that, or I watch a Nux Taku video, or I put on there's another creator that or I watch Charlie video, because there's a Charlie video every day about something crazy. Those are my 3 like main poisons what I start the day with.
I messed up my back at work the other day. It's been very sore.
There's a giant freaking accordion in here. What the hell?
Wait, where do you see an accordion?
Accordion. That's a not a grand piano. It's an orchestral piano.
Oh, I must be very behind on stream. Okay.
Oh, wait about 10 seconds.
Oh, I guess not. Okay. It's not
You won't be okay. You won't be behind on stream. You'll be behind on me, which is guaranteed. You'll be at the same point the rest of the stream is. You're just behind me. Well, it's hard to explain. I think you guys are getting confused. You're not behind on stream. You're seeing everything that everyone else sees except me. Everyone in the world is behind me.
That's a weird thing to take lessons. I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. Why? That's such a weird thing.
Well, it's like, well, technically piano lessons probably because it's almost similar. Yeah, so yeah, it's a church organ, or the type of piano organ.
What did I say it was?
So weird.
You called it a not that. You said it was an accordion.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, whenever you said it, no, you did say it was an accordion, Phantom. And
no, because accordions are the thing that you. It's a small thing that you.
I know.
Pulling it out. I didn't say it was
you said it was an accordion.
I said you missaid it. You missaid something. You said accordion when you meant to say something else.
But when you said it was an accordion, I was still in the police department room, and so I was like, yeah, that's just a PC, Phantom. That's the only thing that I saw that looked like an accordion.
Well, that's because you got to remember that what I see and what you see are different.
Well, he's really behind on stream. He had to put it up to 2-speed just to get caught up enough, you know.
But you won't catch up though. If you're watching a stream, upping the speed won't catch up because you're where you're supposed to be. You can't catch up to me because streams have a delay because that's how it works. You can't catch up to me.
I know that. I know that. That's not what I meant.
We always argue about this every stream.
Oh, it's a waste of time, it really
yeah,
is.
I agree with you. I literally mean by your definition of catching up as in where everyone else is catching up, not to where...
But how do you know where everyone else is up to? You don't.
Because you've told me in the past, and I'm just gonna go off of that?
No, because I wouldn't know either, because I'm watching this through OBS in real time.
Okay.
All I know is that my stream preview is between 5, 8, or 10 seconds with my stream preview. But I don't know if that's, again, aligned with the actual stream. Because my stream preview is through Studio.
I was actually just gonna say, wait a minute, so this whole time, we could have all been reading, like, on the same page if you, like, pulled this up on YouTube, Phantom, and, just like kind of played it through the stream, if that makes sense.
That would be impossible for
like
me
you're
to
still
do.
playing it, but whenever you hit a button, you're just continuing the dialogue.
I don't really know what you mean, but I'm not playing the entire thing on delay. That's impossible for me to do. The easiest way to figure out the delay is to have the stream unmuted, and then when you hear me read a piece of dialogue, count how long it takes before you hear me say it again. Problem solved.
Yeah, you're right. I've got work later today. I'm usually off on Thursdays, but I swapped. Someone guilted me into taking their shift today.
Yeah, people keep wanting me to do shit on fucking Thursdays every day now, and I'm trying to tell them, no, I can't. Stop it. Like, literally the same people will ask and just forget, and I'll be like, hey, I've told you this several fucking times. No, stop with it.
It's like the person I'm talking about. It's like, please, if you don't take my shift, I'm going to die.
That broken vase is in that picture. That's interesting.
Different, which is understandable.
That is interesting. The one thing about the evidence room that's always been strange is that vase that we had to put together that's missing a piece. That vase has not been relevant to anything yet, and there it is in that photo. Interesting indeed. Why is that there? That is strange.
It's almost like we're just beginning. We're just now beginning this case. It's like
I don't think that is the case. But this man is very good at hiding his true intentions, and he's the only one that knows why everybody got moved off or sacked after that case 2 years ago. He's the only one that knows exactly what's going on, because it was him and Marshall's brother that were interrogating that guy, the supposed killer, when he took off and stuff. That Marshall's now dead. Nobody else was there. Like, the only person that has seen and heard everything that is still alive is this man. And then he was in charge of the 2 detectives getting sacked, and the one that was at the same tier as him being moved to the prosecutor's office. This whole thing is fishy as heck, and he is at the center of it, because he is the only living person that knows the reason for any of that, or what happened with our interrogating the supposed killer when he, quote-unquote, got away. This man is the only one who knows any of this stuff. It is super, super weird.
You should totally ignore what I said earlier about him. 100%. Yeah.
What did you say earlier, Ben?
I literally said that he most likely is heavily involved with this, to the point of probably being the murderer because of his high position of laying everyone off and moving them from different positions.
No, he's definitely
This is
involved.
clearly a case of like a corrupt police station going on. He's covering up for somebody or for himself, but
At this
it's
point-
most
at
likely
this
going to
point-
be out of good intent and nothing too fucking
At
horrid.
this point,
Hey, if these circumstances didn't happen, I wouldn't have done this.
At this point, the thing for me is, he laid off 2 detectives. He couldn't lay off all 3 of them, because it would have seemed weird. So obviously it must have been purely at random that Goodman got to stay a detective. So the part that's for me is, if he is the killer, what's his motive for killing Goodman? That's the part that I'm trying to figure out in my head while reading all this. What would be his motive for killing
feeling...
Because killing Goodman brings attention to all of this again.
Maybe he wants people to pay attention to the case again and wants to get caught because he feels fucking guilty, but he needs someone worthy enough to do it. Because if it's not someone worthy enough to put him behind bars, he won't be satisfied and continue on. I doubt that's actually the case, but that just sounds like something from, like, NCIS or Criminal Minds.
So now we've got to figure out a way to get in there.
You guys don't mind, I gotta get myself some, like, soup to eat, because,
Norris.
Actually, so sad story here. Recently, like, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, I guess one of my teeth just randomly fucking cracked.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until I was drinking something, like, sugary and sweet, and so when it went up in there, I thought it was, like, a cavity, but no. It was a crack that was going up to the gums.
Ouch.
And so today, not today, but earlier yesterday, technically for all of us, if you're in American time zones and shit, or whatever, I had to do a filling for my teeth anyways, like one of the other teeth in my mouth, so it was just funny how that lined up, where it was like the day before that happened. And then I told them, I was like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. Could you check this out? They're like, oh my god, yeah, that is cracked. I'm like, oh shit.
How'd that
okay.
happen?
And they're like, do you want to work on this tooth instead of the others? And I'm like, yeah, please, because this is new and fresh, and if we get it now, it'll be like easier to deal with. I will say I am not scared of the dentist office as I was when I first showed up, only because I had chronic anxiety. So just anything that felt like any slight of uncomfortability would have me jumping and scared like a deer running from like a hunter or some shit. Like I couldn't help it. But once I got on Lexapro, the brand name for escitalopram and anti-anxiety medication, I've been good. It's like I pretend I just close my eyes and once I'm numbed up and shit, and I'm fine for the rest of it because I'm just laying down, relaxing. The vibrations of the tools, because it's like in your skull, you know, almost. It's like a brain massage, and it feels really nice afterwards.
Huh.
And also, you know, one thing that helped me when I was like 18, 19, when I finally got health insurance to actually go to the dentist to get my teeth fixed up, I would pretend I was in like a cyberpunk setting, and I was just getting like small little android cybernetic parts put into my teeth, you know? Like microchips or something like that. I don't know. I didn't go into specifics. I was just all like, I'm in a cybernetic setting. I'm going through a small little dental surgery just for fun. And then that just helped me calm down. So remember, folks, no matter what age you are, always put child whimsy into your life because it will help you feel better. If you don't do it and pretend to be a hard-ass motherfucker who, has no joy in life and is quote-unquote always mature and you're basically the ideal type of an adult that a child would see, you're not truly living and you are, like, very, very sad and you need to hug. I will say that. Anyways, I'm gonna go get my soup. My delicious soup, because I cannot eat anything hard for 24 hours
Yeesh.
and I'm just gonna avoid eating fucking hard foods in general for a while. Because what the hell? Like, all I did was eat a nut that wasn't even that hard, and I'm assuming that's what cracked my tooth. Because other than that, though, I don't know what the fuck I did. Genuinely don't know. So, super fun. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk, everybody. As part of Phantom Man 100 Gaming stream. Sometimes we have a little TED Talk here, you know. I appreciate you guys listening. If you skipped this, good for you. You've saved your brain cells. Congratulations. I mean, skipped my segment, you know. Alright, I'm really gonna shut up now. Riley, Phantom, take it away.
It was a very long explanation for soup.
It was the most detailed I've heard. I've heard people put less effort into giving a testimony on why they didn't kill somebody. Like I've heard a person put less. I've heard a person put less effort into proving they're innocent, and Ben's going on this whole big tirade.
Your Honor, I simply didn't do that shit. I just ain't about that. That's in reference to somebody having, like, a terrible explanation for not killing somebody. Sorry. I thought that'd be funny.
I'm actually kind of curious. What's your favorite food, Phantom?
Oh man, that is a hard question. There's a lot that I like. I mean, there's a butter chicken recipe that I have that I'm very impartial to. It was one of the first things that I was able to eat at a hospital. Butter chicken with rice is immaculate. It's probably one of my favorite recipes. Another one of my favorite foods that I have not had in decades is my dad's banana bread. That's pretty fire. It's hard to beat that. There's a lot of things I like. Nailing down my exact favorite food is tough, but those two are up there for, like, you know, they're like final meals for me. Like, they'd be things I'd want to eat before I die because of how sentimental they are. Otherwise, it's really tough to piece together a favorite meal because there's so many things that I do enjoy eating. I'll never say no to a good pizza, like never. I'm a pretty easily pleased person, to be honest. But yeah, a top favorite is hard.
You know, I don't think I could probably answer that question myself now that I think about it.
Yeah, that's pretty unfair.
There's a lot of good stuff.
You're asking me a question you can't answer yourself. That's breaking the rules. Rule 1 when asking a question, you have to be able to answer it yourself too, bub.
I mean, like, I don't know if my answer would be so true to myself, though. Like, I could give an answer, but it's like, is it my real answer?
You'd have to if you're gonna ask a question, you've got to have a real answer ready to go.
If I could say, oh, hamburgers are my favorite, but are hamburgers really my favorite?
I mean, also, hamburgers are very broad. What type of hamburger, you know? Like, it's a very broad answer. I can tell what my favorite pizza is. Like, my favorite pizza? If we narrow it down like that, that gets easier. My favorite pizza is... Alright, hang on. Let me make sure that I get the name right. Hang on. I gotta make sure I get the name right. I gotta make sure I get the name right, so I gotta go on the website. My favorite pizza of all time. Oh boy, oh boy. I literally had this a couple days ago. It is... Wait. Is it in traditionals? Or is it... the double bacon cheeseburger pizza.
Double bacon cheeseburger, huh?
Double bacon cheeseburger pizza from Domino's is... It's my favorite from the menu. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's so good, man.
Don't even get me started on pineapple sardine pizza. Ooh.
What? That sounds diabolical.
I know, that's why I said it.
That sounds diabolical. I feel like I want to kill the person that came up with that idea. The person who invented that needs to go to court. Be tried for food crimes. Sardine and pineapple? The fr... Why? Ugh. Horrible.
Don't knock it till you try it, man.
No, I've tried those things individually and I can't see them blending well together. Sardines and pineapples just sounds like a literal food crime.
On a pizza.
I'm not an anti-pineapple pizza person, but you throw the sardines in there and we've got problems. Because sardines are... They're not it, man.
We need to, whenever Ben gets back, if he's not like spying on us right now, we need to tell him about pineapple sardine pizza and like get him to think that we're actually like in with that.
No, I refuse to be part of this.
Come on.
I refuse.
That would be funny.
I refuse to lie about that even as a joke. I have standards.
Oh, what?
I have standards I have to uphold.
Like, hey Ben, I found this new pizza recipe and I tried it. It's very delicious. Pineapple sardine pizza. Ben shot Riley 5 times.
Something to show him to make him change his mind. Oh. This. He'll recognize this. No, really? Bro.
Is this? Are we finally presenting what I think we're presenting?
Here we go. In here. Oh, nah, really? It's literally right there, bro. Oh my god. That's infuriating. Ugh. Seriously?
Got a question for you, Phantom. If you were transported back to the year 2000, what would you do?
Back to 2000? Oh god, okay. So, am I still me? It doesn't de-aged me?
Yeah, let's say it hasn't de-aged you.
So I'm me literally as I am now, and I'm just time travel back to year 2000.
Yeah, suddenly you're back in the year 2000, like right now.
Where am I?
Okay, I gotta make this not complicated because you probably weren't living where you are in the year 2000.
No. So again, so my questions are, where am I when I'm transported back there? And does the 11-year-old me exist? Like, does the 11-year-old me exist?
Fine, I'm gonna change my question a bit. You were transported to an alternate universe where everything is the same. It's the year 2000. Everything is the same as it was back then, except you don't exist. And yeah, that's about it. And like, I don't know, anything that would matter in your like personal life like wouldn't like exist. So like, you're in like a new universe. Everything's the same except like anything that would affect the question personally doesn't really exist.
So
like,
will my parents be together?
Stuff,
will my parents still be together and just have a different child?
No, your parents don't exist.
My parents don't exist. You just said so. I don't exist, and my parents don't exist either.
Like your bloodline doesn't exist. It's like a new world with new people. Well, not new people, just like nothing personal. I don't want like a personal answer. Like a generalized. If I could go back to the year 2000, like what would you do? All the technology is the same.
Well,
as it was back then, it's not.
Well,
the technology isn't like 2025 technology. It's like 2000 technology. But you have your knowledge from
all the things that I've learned. I could probably invent those things early and make a lot of money.
Like what things?
Okay, here's the one. If it's a different world, does that mean that every other event that happened in the past doesn't happen? Like, I can't, like, predict 9/11 or something?
You can. So everything's gonna happen the same way it has. You have your knowledge from the future. It's just I didn't want a personal answer, so I was like, oh, I would like tell my best friend to play the lottery, and because he failed that one time, and we figure out what the numbers were. You know, I didn't want a personal answer. I wanted like a generalized like.
I can either use my knowledge of what happens in the future to either predict things, or even bring up innovative ideas in technology or inventions that haven't been thought of yet. But that would also be influencing that world too much, so there might be too much attention. Considering that once it gets to present day, I'm no longer able to do those things, that might be sus, so I might not do that, actually. I would invest money in shares and stock markets that I knew blew up after 2000.
Ah, that's smart. What I would do, honestly, I would probably do that eventually, but at first I would kind of just, if I was brought back, I would, and I was like me now, I would kind of chill. I mean, it's such a vibe back then. It was such a vibe. I just feel like it was less chaotic back then.
Oh yeah. A lot less stupidity, a lot less brain rot. It was a simpler time.
Just enjoy your lava lamps and your your early
Lava lamps are already
2000s
old.
internet.
Lava lamps are already old at that point. People don't have them in their house all the time.
Enjoy your lava lamps and your water beds and
I was just going
and
back
your
to play.
VHS tapes.
I was just going back to playing N64 games and storing all my data on floppy disks because that was the shit, man.
Those were the days.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried about Ben. It's taking him a minute to get that soup.
Yeah, they might have fallen into it.
Falling into the soup.
Yep. It's like a giant witch's cauldron of it.
I can imagine Ben, making a big thing of soup out of a witch's cauldron. And he's
Yeah.
laughing like a witch.
Man, you did that so high pitched I couldn't even hear it.
Just imagine a insert witch's laugh there.
I could do it. Well, they be stirring the cauldron with an evil look on their face, but they're using like the high-pitched anime girl cute voice, and he just confuses every single person that sees it.
Cha-cha.
By the way, Phantom, I gotta ask, how are you feeling today?
Am I feeling? You alright?
Yeah. I remember last week it was like things weren't so great, and so I was checking up on you.
Yeah, that doesn't really change that much, to be honest. Ugh.
I'm back.
What's up, Ben?
Not much. I made SpaghettiOs. Also, I love how Phoenix over here quoted Edgeworth from the trial.
Did you have the stream going? Like, were you watching us while you were away?
Well, yes, but I had to remove my headphones at one point because of Bluetooth distance, and it was making it all like I couldn't hear you guys either way.
I think you were. We thought you fell into the soup, and We were like, what if he's making soup in like a big witch's cauldron and he's laughing like a witch right now?
Oh, I could have been. No, I took a small smoke break too while it was in the microwave, so.
I just imagine Ben laughing. Dude, can you do a witch's laugh actually?
Yeah, give me a moment. Oh, you cleared my fucking throat. Here, I'll do it away from the microphone a little bit. Just cause. It's like.
And you, my pretty, and your little dog too.
Oh, that's extremely uncomfortable.
There you go.
Wow.
You're
That was
right,
too
Phantom.
good.
It was so high pitched that it cut out.
It did cut out, yeah.
Yeah.
I still heard it mostly though. I heard enough.
If I was closer to the mic, it would have gotten worse. So.
I heard enough that I'm sitting there being like, oh god.
Oh yeah, if you heard it in real life, you would probably be spooked.
Dude, I'm already easily spooked enough as it is.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you're saying?
That's why I always say, usually, the best part is, I know it's so loud, disruptive, and actually would scare people, kind of, that I do warn people around me beforehand if I do it. So, if I was around you and was about to do it, it'd be like, hey, I'm gonna do the thing. You'd be like, what thing? I'm like, the witch's laugh. You'd be like, please don't. I'm like, cover your ears, sweet summer child. I must call to my brethren in this land of the unknown. And then I would do the laugh in your backyard and
Nice.
scare off the crackheads from your dealer's house across the street. No, not your dealers. I'm sorry. The dealer's house across the street in general. On your street. Fucking.
You don't need to make a big deal out of it.
Oh.
I'm laughing so hard.
It's okay, I'm used to fake laughs because Gloomy gives me those all the time, and her fake laugh is way more convincing than yours.
At least my fake laugh is funny.
That's the point. I'm not trying to be convincing.
You haven't convinced me that it's
Ooh,
fake.
fuck with Ed boys.
That's what I'm saying. You haven't convinced me that it's fake. I think you really did find it funny, but you're trying to mask it and stay cool.
What are you calling me, a tsundere or something?
No, that's Ben.
Ben called Phantom a baka.
Ben's called me enough worse things that it wouldn't bother me.
Ginger.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me because it's not even accurate, so like, yeah.
Not like
It's
I wanted
partially
to.
accurate because your
Little
beard is
wall.
red, and you have a family member who happens to be ginger.
I have more than one
Goes around
family
your
member.
blood.
I have more than one family member that's ginger. That doesn't mean that I'm one.
Yeah, but you still have the gene in your blood system, in your DNA.
But I'm not a true
like,
ginger because my hair's not red, so I'm not a
Both
true
of your
ginger.
DNA.
Yeah, but
It's
your
in,
beard
it's in,
is, so
I mean,
close enough.
we have apes in our DNA, but we don't call each other apes.
I don't know about that
Uh,
one.
I hate to break something to you, fandom, but I have to share with you it after stream.
Yes, we share
see-
we share the bloodline, the scientific name, but we're called humans, not apes.
Folks, he lives in a world where racism doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's not so prevalent over there, guys. You gotta remember, he doesn't know.
It's very prevalent here. My family is full of racist people.
Oh,
Oh, then you.
That's why I don't talk about the topic, because I don't like it. And I hate the people in my family that act like it.
That's fair, it's fair.
There is a lot of racist people in my family. There's some of them that because they dislike the native people of my country, it then bleeds into them disliking any person who's not white, regardless of country of origin. That's the problem. Okay, I don't like the colour of the Australian people, so I also don't like African American people. It's like, but they're not even the same. What?
Yeah, fucking, I hate my racist family. Well, I don't hate my racist family, I just hate how they speak, because knowing from their point of view, or at least how they explain themselves to me, it's still
Racism is just an
racist.
outdated thing. It's so outdated. We're all people. I'm surprised with how modern everything is. We can't move past that and still discriminate against people just because of what they look like. Like, it's so outdated.
That's the thing. Some racists don't even think that the words they say are actually racist.
No, no. It's
Like,
so outdated. It's so put into their brains. It's
No,
normalized.
yeah, it is. And the worst part is, like, my mom, who's, what, she's only 20 years older than you, I think, Phantom. 20-something years older than you.
God, okay.
And she's still fucking...
Wait,
It's
so
kind
she's
of embarrassing.
what? She's 50 something?
Yeah, in her 50s, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, she fucking, like, will just say racist shit if she gets pissed off enough, and I'll be like, dude, you just can't say that, or before I can say it, she'll be all like, I know you're gonna say this, but I'm gonna say it anyways because it's how I feel and it's honest, and I'm like, I know you're just using these euphemisms to express yourself, but also, like, you can learn not to. Like, it's okay. Like, it's not like changing a core part of your personality or anything, it's just changing your language to be, like, more... Like, if... You shouldn't have to hurt people to express yourself, you know? Even if the people aren't there in that room with you.
Oh,
it's
you're
like,
playing one of the Story of Seasons games. I haven't played those, only heard of them.
Yeah, so, this one is a remake of a Harvest Moon title, actually.
Oh.
Before, the two companies that kind of helped who made the Harvest Moon games, split and divorced, and then, while one game, like Story of Seasons, kept the characters from the old Harvest Moon shit, and also renamed them and stuff, Harvest Moon decided to make new characters that still, you know, do their own thing with it and stuff. They're kind of like the same almost, but I prefer Story of Seasons a little bit more because I'm familiar with the characters and whatnot.
Something I kind of wanted to bring up that I think we might have talked about this before, since we're talking about like older games and like not really around anymore. Skylanders. Do you think they're ever gonna bring that back? Like,
I hope so,
Maybe.
but there's so many things because Toys of Bob are involved with it and Activision's involved with it. Activision own the rights to it, I think.
You know, I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a Skylanders trophy or aid in the new Smash Bros. That'd be cool.
There would be a few things that had to fall into place. I don't feel like the Toys to Life thing is really easy to market now because two other companies tried with Disney Infinity and the Lego one, and they both like just failed. So
that's the problem, is that too many were trying at the same time. You had Amiibo, you had Skylanders, you had Disney Infinity, the Lego one.
Amiibo's different though. Amiibo's a little different to the other three. It wasn't really directly competing with them because Amiibo's not really the same type of Toys to Life brand as the others. It's still a collectible, but the way they work is different. I wouldn't say it's a direct competition. They still were in the market though. But I think if Skylanders was to come out again, I don't think it would. It won't reach the heights that it was at. What I would like to see is maybe a new game where they don't necessarily release more figures or re-release them because that's not the secondary market's that big. No point re-releasing them. But maybe do a new game or even like a remaster of one of the games, and then have it so that like all the characters are like either DLC, but they're all digital, right? So there's no physical figures for it, but your physical figures that you have already could be compatible with the game, but otherwise it's all digital. Like how if you buy Starlink on the Switch, you don't need like the physical ships to play the game. You can buy them all digitally. So they could do that and do a whole thing with Skylanders where like the characters are available digitally instead of using the figures. But if you own the figures already, then you have to buy them. They could do something like that. But as for a whole new game and new wave of figures, I don't see it happening. I'd like it to, but I don't see it because the franchise itself even kind of petered out. Like by the time Imaginators came out, there wasn't as many new figures in it in that series. Their prices are gouged way up. And the game didn't sell that well. And also, they only released a limited number of physical copies of Imaginators on the Switch. It's also one of the only Switch games you can't buy digitally on the store. There's not a digital version of that game, which makes it one of the most expensive Nintendo Switch games to own. I own the physical cartridge. I bought it off eBay, but I'm not even going to tell you how much it cost me because it costs a lot more than a game normally does. It's the most expensive game. And it's just a cartridge. I don't have the case or anything. And it's fine, but realistically, I feel like Trap Team was where I got into it. Trap Team was an amazing game. I played a bit of Superchargers. I don't own it though. That was okay, but like after Superchargers, like 5 and 6 just really fell off, and people didn't love them very much, unfortunately. The game peaked, you know, and then it fell off. It's a franchise I'd love to see return, but I think we'd have to return in some way of like a game being remade or remastered. Like do a remake of one, but then maybe update it so that all the characters are compatible in it, but that's also a huge undertaking. She'd probably have to just do a remake of the original game, and then it's compatible with the original first, like the original first roster of characters, which maybe you could purchase them digitally, unless you've got the figures already, because some of the figures are really expensive online. It's complicated.
I would think that maybe it could use a reboot, and then where you really don't even need the figures anymore.
Yeah,
like that's just from the past.
Either way, the figures would not come back into play. That wouldn't be a thing again, in my opinion. It would just be the game in some way. That's a new game, a reboot, a remaster. We'd have to do something like that. They did a TV series. Did you know that? Have you seen that? I've watched all of it.
No, I actually didn't.
It's called Skylanders Academy. It's on Netflix.
No, I haven't heard of it.
I remember hearing about that.
I've watched all of it. It's like 3 seasons. It's alright. So they did do that. There was also a Skylanders mobile game, but it did not last very long before it got shut down. So they tried. They tried to branch it out, but I think they did all that a little too late. Is there anything? They should have done all that stuff a bit earlier, while it was at its height. Because by the time those things came out, it was when the franchise was already starting to, like, dip. But I love it. I have 6 characters from every element from across the first 4 games, because Trap Team was game 4. That's where I got into it. So I've got 6 from each element, and they're all characters from each of the certain games. I don't have like a complete set of characters from any one of the games. I've nearly got every single Trap Team core character, but I've got characters from all first 4 games, because obviously in Trap Team all the older ones are compatible. And then I bought Imaginators on the Switch, and they're all stored on there, because the Switch version of the game, you can scan them in, and they stay on the game. You don't have to, like, place them on a portal or anything to use them. You just switch between them in-game. So my figures are displayed in my living room, and you don't have to touch them. I can just play the characters on the Switch. I can show you guys Imaginators after stream if you want.
Sure.
If you want.
Because it's the most expensive Switch game. Because I love my Skylanders. I've shown Ben the Skylanders that I own. So, like, there's a lot that I don't own, but the ones I do own, again, are my favorite 6 core Skylanders for each element. So by core, I mean, like, for example, in Giants, the gimmick was the Giant ones. So you had your regular Skylanders, which are called cores, and the Giants. And in the third game, there was Swappers, which are Swap Force characters. And then Trap Team, you have the Trap Masters, who are bigger, and they have, like, these special weapons. But the core ones are the regular ones that don't, like, bring, like, a gimmick to the game. So what I own are all just core ones, because I like the cores. So I have 6 of each of the elements that are my favorite, except for Dark and Light, because Dark and Light was introduced in Trap Team. There's only 1 light and 1 dark core, because the few light and darks they brought out after that were ones for the next 2 games which weren't cores, because after Trap Team they stopped making cores. So Superchargers and Imaginators there aren't core Skylanders at all. So there's only 1 dark or light core Skylander, which and those 2 are 2 of the most expensive core Skylanders that you'll find if you try and find them on eBay. Like, even just, like, unboxed, like just loose, they are ridiculously expensive. And I'm glad that I bought them brand new when they released, because I would not want to buy them on the secondary market now, because they're both really, really, really expensive.
Wait a minute, are you talking about iBrawler?
iBrawler is, he's one of the giants, so no, that's 2 games behind.
Okay. I don't know why I got the Giants and Cores mixed up. I really liked iBrawler and Bouncer. Bouncer is my favorite.
I don't think the giants are that expensive, but the only one light and dark core characters, because the light and dark element was introduced in Trap Team, those 2 are the most expensive to find. I'm temporarily forgetting their name, but I'll show them to you, because they're all scanned into my Imaginators. So I'll show them to you. The two most expensive core Skylanders. But in the top 10 most expensive Skylanders ever, most of them are actually characters from the Imaginators game. Crazy expensive. So why don't you just show this guy? Will you have something to say about this?
They had such cool characters that I wish they would come out with a second game and that you could just do it digitally, like you said.
Yeah. Did you know that in a lot of popularity contests...
Activision bought out by someone?
Not yet.
So maybe we should write them a letter and be like, please make another Skylanders.
Well, it's down to Activision and Toys for Bob, because Toys for Bob are the guys that made it. Which are the same guys that did the Spyro remakes.
Yeah, just, well, I mean, doesn't Skylanders own the characters? Like, we can do it without the toys.
Well, Toys for Bob is still the developers, so I don't know what their current affiliation with Activision still is. Or if they still exist, I don't actually know. You require both Toys for Bob and Activision to make it happen. You need them both. What was I going to say? Of all the Skylanders, there's been multiple times where there's been like a big like poll where they've asked people who the #1 favorite Skylander is. Might surprise you, because it's actually a Skylander from the first game. It is a Gen 1 core character that is a #1 favorite. I'll give you some hints so you can figure it out. He's a tech element character from the first game that is the #1 favorite Skylander, the most popular one, as voted by people multiple times.
I don't know them by name.
The hint I'll give you is so he's a tech character, and he acts batshit insane. He acts like he's crazy, like he's out of his mind.
Is it the bomb guy?
No, it is not Boomer. You know, it's pretty close, because this character, like Boomer, is kind of unhinged, but it's not Boomer.
Is it? Oh, is it Trigger Happy?
It is Trigger Happy. He is the most popular character. Multiple times.
Also, look at the whatchamacallit, the scarf on not the one next to Lana, the armor that was wearing that scarf. What if that's important?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think that's a trophy that's important.
Okay. Well, anyways,
not the trophy, the vase.
Yeah, I liked Boomer. I liked Bouncer. Another one that was cool to me, which wasn't really one of my favorites, but was the lava guy. I forget what his name was.
Oh, Eruptor. He's one of the main characters in the show. Eruptor's cool.
Yeah.
I don't own Eruptor or Boomer. They're not part of the Gen 1s that I own, but I do have Trigger Happy.
I had actually, speaking of which, I had both of those. It's just that my Boomer was missing an arm, and Eruptor, yeah, he's somewhere. He's seen better days. He's a little worn from the years.
It is very difficult to find some Skylanders not broken. Like Hex is a Gen 1 undead Skylander. It's very difficult to find a Hex online that hasn't got one of her arms broken off. It's very rare.
Yeah.
I actually do have an intact
Bouncer is
Hex.
still my favorite, my all-time favorite.
One of my favorites is probably going to be... One of my favorites is probably one of my most expensive that I own. It's one of the Trap Team characters. Her name is Echo. She's one of the most expensive ones I owned. I'm not going to admit how much she cost me. But, like, legit. A lot of them, I'll tell you how much they cost me, but I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for her. Because she was one of the last waves.
Swashbuckler, I think his name was one of my favorites, too.
Swashbuckler, one of the swappers for the Swap Force. Swashbuckler was in the starter pack for Swap Force. He's the The guy who's like a squid pirate, right? Yeah, that's Swashbuckler, yeah. Yeah, he was in the starter pack for Swap Force. Because even though I don't own the first 3 games, I've played them, but Trap Team is where I got dragged into it by a friend.
It's such a cool idea, so that those characters, like, they need to just make a new one.
It'll be interesting to see when I show you all the characters that I own, it'll be interesting to see how many of them you go, oh, I remember this one. And how many you go, oh, I've never seen this one before. I'm intrigued for that.
I am intrigued also with the story Edgeworth is telling.
Yes, I was about to... I'm locked in now.
Yeah, because this is to do with this trophy, but wondering about why the trophy looks the way it does.
Because as soon as I look, because I am multitasking. And then, you know, especially when he said the Chinese joke. Real life objection out of the courtroom.
Huh! That's hilarious. That's so random. That's strange. That's strange. Why would he do that?
I'm gonna assume whoever that
The
trophy was for,
last time we saw the halberd was when Marshall's brother received the trophy, and the halberd was on it then. So sometime after he died, the halberd part was abolished. Oh no!
Also,
I'm realizing something. I'm realizing something. I'm not gonna say it, but I'm realizing something. Something is putting itself. I'm seeing something now.
I think I might figured it out, but also I was gonna tell Riley that's a suit of armor next to Lana.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew it was a suit of armor.
That's no, I have time still. In like 20 minutes, I gotta put my freaking
there's
garbage out to the curb.
So,
Phantom,
there are rumors of a Skylanders, like, we could get some information late this year of a new, like a reboot.
That rumor has been circulating for the last, like, 5 years. I don't know.
No, but it's like end of this year.
Yeah, but they've been saying that for 5 years. Every year they've been saying that. Like, that's a 5-year-old rumor. Oh, well, here's something this year. Here's something this year. Like, I keep hearing it, but until it's something official, I'm just gonna take it as gospel. Because I've been following that for at least 5 years. It's a very old rumor that just keeps resetting. Oh, no, it's definitely next year. Sorry, I was wrong. Okay. It's hard for me to take it seriously when it's been ongoing.
Maybe I just got my hopes up, alright.
Well, who knows? At some point, maybe, but, like, it's been a long time, and people are still talking about it. Now, the longer it goes, the less likely it feels. Because the longer it's
That's
left...
how I feel about people talking about Fallout 2 happening, when it's all like, even if it does, it's probably not going to be as good as people think, because the people who worked on it no longer work at Obsidian or with Bethesda. They moved on to different projects, like I've told you before, so it's bullcrap at the same time. It's sad, it's so sad, but you could imagine the possibility.
Why did you have to say that, Angel? Of all the things you could have said, that was the thing you said. For comparison. For curiosity. I
mean, to be fair...
God, this woman's unhinged.
To be fair, how did we find out about cows being able to produce milk that we could drink? Exactly. I mean,
Oh, I've got multiple answers for that, but I'm not entertaining the conversation.
We all like to assume it was from a curious individual because honestly, it was probably someone who was looking at like a calf drinking from its mother's milk and was like, I wonder if humans can do that too with that animal because we do that with our mothers. And then, yeah. I would like to think that maybe they actually learned how to milk cows before they tried out the milk to help certain calves or other animals consume it if it was good for them to help them like stay strong or whatever because they didn't want to like maybe they didn't have a pregnant woman like breastfeeding around that time or anybody who could, so they just did that. I'd like to assume that as well, more than just other options that could have been the likely possibility.
I just realized it's been like over 2 years since I had milk of any kind. That's crazy, right?
That is kind of crazy, but I have been in the same boat before. It's actually the reason why I have some health problems.
Yeah, I haven't touched milk in any form for over 2 years because after being a diabetic, the only way that I really consumed any milk was when I had it with cereal because I can't drink a lot of it, and I don't eat breakfast anymore because by the time I wake up in the morning, it's like lunchtime. So my first meal of the day is lunch. So I don't eat cereal anymore. Therefore, I haven't consumed milk for like 2 years. And I used to have it every day for most of my life.
Excuse me. Oh, it's her again. Why are you always down in this basement?
She's visiting one of her many boyfriends, obviously.
Yeah,
One of
she's
her
always
many
done-
weed-smoking boyfriends.
She lives down here. What's up, Phantom? Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Oh wait, when is that Switch 2 reveal? That's in April, right?
Beginning of April, yeah, about a month from now.
So, what games do you think they'll reveal as like launch titles?
I don't expect them to reveal that. I expect it to be more focused on the Switch 2 itself and what it can do. If they reveal launch titles, I'll be surprised, because I think it's more focused on the Switch and its hardware itself more than software, I think. From what they implied,
Well,
anyway.
4 days away is actually the is Mario Day, so we might get some information on like it's Mario's 40th anniversary. Like for the 35th anniversary, they did something pretty big. Maybe we might get 3D All Stars 2.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we'll get some more information about the new Mario Kart game.
Mario Sunshine, that would be pretty epic.
Super Mario Sunshine. Super Mario Sunshine 2. That'd be crazy.
That'd be awesome.
Honestly, I think we're more likely. I think we're more likely for us to get a sequel to Odyssey, but I don't think it's going to happen yet.
What I want is a remake of Super Mario 64 again. So like this time they did it for the DS. Let's do it for the Switch 2. Give us Wario, give us Waluigi, give us Luigi, Yoshi.
Or they could just
graphics.
port it to the Switch too, honestly. Because I do like the old polygon graphics. They're really nice, like a candy.
I mean, you don't even need to port it. You don't even need to port it.
Mario Odyssey graphics.
You don't need to port it because you can already play it on the Switch. Super Mario 64 is part of the Nintendo N64 package online.
Yeah, but I want Mario 64 like a remake of the DS version.
Yeah, I know what you
And
mean.
with Odyssey graphics and adding Waluigi in.
I don't think they're gonna do that. I don't think they'll see a point in doing it. I feel like something like that that's way too much effort for Nintendo to go to. I can't see them doing it. It'd be awesome, but I don't see them doing it. I feel like hoping for that would be too optimistic.
Dream.
Yeah, you definitely can. There are a lot of people that would dream of something like that, but I don't think we're gonna get it. I mean, hell, look what they did when they finally allowed us to play 3 of those really good Mario games, and then it was a limited time you could even buy it. Now you can't get it anymore. That triple pack, like, it's just gone. Like, you can't buy it online or anything. Like, that's dumb. It was overpriced, and it was an it was, you know, it was overpriced, and there was a limited time you could buy it, and it's like, well, that's really stupid. Like, excuse me?
I ended up buying 3D All-Stars.
Yeah, I wish I did, but it was so expensive. And also I thought, okay, I'll wait until it gets cheaper, or I can afford it. I didn't realize it was only going to be available for the shortest amount of time, and then it's been gone for good. Like, that's a stupid move, making it temporary. Like, who does that? That's, yeah. That didn't sit well with me.
Can't you still get the physical copies, though?
I don't know.
Like, surely someone's got one floating around.
Maybe in the pre-owned market, but I have no idea how much they cost, though. You can't get them from stores, I know that much.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to think about how much it would cost on eBay if anybody was selling it. But not many people would probably sell it because you can't get it again.
And you have to use the PAL versions, right?
The Switch isn't region locked, I don't think, because my friend Joe sent me a game that I got to eventually play, and I'm pretty sure we'd already figured out that region locking isn't a thing on the Switch. I'd have to Google it, but I'm pretty sure the game he sent me from Canada will work.
Okay. So, if I'm not even looking up, like, PAL versions or anything. Okay, so this is Super Mario 3D All-Stars. You can get it for $124.99 plus $7.99 delivery. That's my money.
Yeah, so that would be over $200 for me, and then shipping from, like, America to here would be really expensive, so... Yeah, no, I'm not paying that. That's not worth it.
But that, with just the game, without the case or anything, $79.99, so $80.
Yeah.
And
no.
yeah, that's the price that I'm seeing a lot of, is like, just over $100.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Still probably not as expensive as a physical copy of Skylander Imaginators on the Switch, because again, it's the most expensive physical game. Very hard to come by. Just a cartridge alone. Again, I'm not going to mention how much I spent on mine.
Okay. Skylanders Imaginators, $180 for the Switch.
Yeah, it's a reasonable starting price.
Yeah, I don't know. That's. I mean, they're about the same. Well, some of the Mario All-Stars I saw was the same around that price, but I guess, yeah, that's the most expensive.
Well, because it's one of the few Switch games that never released digitally. It's only physical. Very rare. Usually it's the other way around. Usually there are games that don't get physical releases. But Skylanders Imaginators is one of the few, if only, games that didn't get a digital release. It's bizarre. I don't know why they didn't do that. It actually baffles me, because you can buy them digitally on other systems. I'll never know for sure. I know that my ex-housemate had a copy of it too, because he had it brand new in the case still. Because he got it when it was new.
I'm actually pretty proud. My Switch is like one of the first ones from 2018. It's not patched, so if I really wanted to, I could get it modded. And I'm thinking whenever I get a Switch 2, I transfer all my games over. I'll get this modded, and I can finally play as Waluigi in Smash.
I bought mine in 2019, so mine's still an original model because of course I bought it before they did that refresh, where they like updated the screen and the battery and everything on them. So mine is still one of the originals.
You can check if your Switch is patched by checking the serial numbers on the back and typing it into the first or the last 3 numbers of the serial number onto ismyswitchpatch.com. And then that's how I found out mine's not patched. I got this in like 2018. It's actually the only thing I've only had to replace the Joy-Cons like 2 or 3 times. I got one of the when Mario Odyssey released, I got one of the Switches that had the red Joy-Cons as like a you also get Mario Odyssey with the
I'm still on my original Joy-Cons as well when I bought it in 2019. Original console, original Joy-Cons.
Yeah, I actually don't have the original Joy-Cons. They got drift like bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that.
And I was like, yeah, you can send them off to Nintendo and they'll fix your drift, but
I've had drift happen. I've had drift happen in 2 Xbox One controllers. It's the only controllers I've ever had drift in. I've had it in 2 of them in a row. That's it.
I've had drift in my Oculus controllers quite a lot, and but those are easier to fix. The Joy-Cons, you just can't fix the drift. It's like
apparently the way the Joy-Cons on Switch 2 are being made is that it's, I forget exactly how like a joystick works, but it's made differently so that drift is basically impossible. It has different parts or whatever, has less movement. Whatever the parts are that goes wrong, the new Switch Joy-Cons aren't made that way. So it shouldn't be able to happen at all, which is good. Because I know why Nintendo did that, because they got sued for all the Joy-Con drift that was happening. They got sued over it, so... Ooh.
they just pretended like drift wasn't even a thing, isn't that right?
Yeah, that's how they got sued. They tried to just, like, pretend it wasn't a problem until there was enough evidence of it, enough cases of it.
Yeah. In your opinion, what is a very overrated movie?
An overrated movie?
Yes.
Do I have to have seen the movie?
I want Phantom Man 100's hot take.
Is it,
like what is a very
is it a movie that I have to have seen?
Yes.
Damn. Okay, that's hard because I haven't really watched that many movies.
I mean, how can you call it overrated if you haven't seen it?
Because you hear about it constantly all the time, and the more constantly you hear about it saying, it's like, well, clearly this can't be. They're making out like this is like the best thing ever, and that's just physically impossible. Like, you can get a vibe from that without actually seeing it.
I don't know. I mean,
You know,
if I feel
I've
like
never,
someone's given it
I've
a- I
never,
haven't watched it.
I've never eaten no, I'm blanking on the name. Give me a second. I've never eaten caviar before, but the things I've heard about and how expensive it is, it sounds pretty freaking overrated to me. Because movies I've watched, I don't feel like I've really watched anything that's overrated. But I can tell you, Frozen sounds overrated as hell. It's impossible to escape. Drives you insane. Like, the song that blasts into your ears all the time is Let It Go, but nobody is able to let it go. Because it's impossible to escape. It sounds really overrated to me. Because, like, yeah, sure, maybe it's a good movie, but the fact that it was just, it's forced upon you so much for so long, like, come on, man, it can't be that great. Nothing's that great. And I'm an optimist. So that seems overrated to me, but I haven't seen it. Mainly because it was forced upon me so much that I was never interested.
Let's see, something... What about you, Ben? What's something that's overrated?
Fuck. I think Shakespeare's overrated.
Oh man, I all those Shakespeare fans, I can hear them in the comments right now.
Oh, Shakespeare, yeah, because people that are like fancy and holding enough to still listen and appreciate Shakespeare are totally going to be watching a stream like this.
Man, I can hear all those like great grandparents in the comments, like from the year 1600. I hear them typing away right now.
Just because he started off, he started something off to inspire many people doesn't mean he was the greatest of his time. I mean, the greatest in general. He was the greatest of his time. I will admit that not any. Also,
Yeah.
he had a ghostwriter, I'm pretty sure, for like several of them, so.
Damn. Next thing you know, Ben's gonna say that Mozart was overrated and didn't affect the music industry as much as everyone claims he did.
Oh, no, I love Mozart. Classical music is great.
Man, I would have.
It's actually underrated. Beethoven's awesome. Yeah, it's actually underrated now these days.
Yeah, I mean Beethoven is a world famous composer, and the man was deaf. Like, how does that even work? How do you even do that?
Actually, when he was composing music or writing it, at least like on his organ or piano and stuff, his grand piano, he would listen to the vibrations and go off of. He would feel the vibrations and go off of that, and saw like whatever felt right to him. He just went with it, and if people liked it, they liked it. Also, I think he wasn't born deaf, he turned deaf, like, over time. If I remember right. I don't know, I have to research that again.
Well, on that note, before we get any more hot takes of these nerds, we're going to end the stream there, ladies and gentlemen. That is the 4 hours pretty much done and dusted. I feel like... See, I thought maybe we might finish this case tonight, but obviously I was severely underestimating how much content there is. Maybe we'll finish it next week. We'll see how many weeks it takes us to finish this game, and then we've got 2 other games to get through, so we've got plenty of content going forth. And but in the meantime, if you are part of the Discord, or you're not, join it, and feel free to put suggestions into the correct text channel, suggesting what game we can play next for Thursday after we're done with all these. It's always good to think ahead with these sort of things. Anywho, gonna be going for tonight. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you all later. Does it come over screen? Enjoy the rest of the week. We'll see you on Saturday for Pokemon Unite, or Sunday with multiplayer stuff. The streams are all scheduled, so whatever you are interested in the most, feel free to check those out. Otherwise, we're done here. So this will be the last time you hear from your co-stars for over a week. So I hope you got your fill of them. Hopefully next week they'll have cooked up some hot takes to give you guys so that you can rage at them. Isn't that right, guys? You guys.
He's gonna lock us back in the attic in the basement. You're gonna save us, please.
Just cuts him off. Just mutes him directly. Alright. We're going. See you later, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week. Stay crazy. I mean, stay sane. Definitely didn't tell you to stay crazy. Don't do that. Or did I?
Somewhere's high, now it's going low. Time to sign off, gotta go. Lights are dim, screen fades to black. Thanks for sticking till the end like that. Pixels danced on your screen. Power and dreams in between. Virtual world was ours to hold. Now it's time the story's told. Thanks for watching, thanks for caring. In the chat and always sharing. Till next time, it's been a blast. In this game we were the last. Every jump, every fall, together we've seen it all. Each pixel, each moment bright. We've conquered game zone night. So here we stand, fingers tired, with hearts a little more wired. From this magic digits Thanks for caring in the chat and always sharing. Till next time, it's been a blast. In this game, we were the last.